time I have Jason with me again. He has so graciously said that he would help out again and do another live stream. Uh, I'm hoping you had a good time last time, so that's why you're back.
I did.
But we're gonna talk about Colombia today. So it's all about Colombia. So if you guys have questions about Colombia, if you've ever been interested in going to Colombia, we're gonna do some Q&A. So as you guys come in the room, just let me know you're here just by saying hello or give me a thumbs up or something. And if we have anybody that's coming from Colombia, I'd love to know about that. So if you guys are tuning in from Colombia, let me know that you're tuning in from Colombia. Sometimes I get guests from out of the country, so it's always interesting when that happens. So yeah, like I said, today we're going to be talking about Colombia, all about Colombia. And that means Colombian women, Colombian what food to eat, what places to go to, and all that good stuff. So as you come in, let me know you're here, and I'll start giving people some shout outs right now. Let's see. We'll start from the top. TEC, that's me. What's going on, David? How you doing, buddy? Flashpoint, what's going on? And we have Clifton. What's going on? All right, so as you guys come in, just let me know you're here. Let's see. Done here. I got to get this all working so I Can you hear me, Jason? All right. I don't know. We had a little malfunction there, but it looks like everything's back. Okay. So it looks like we have 9 people in here. Please hit the like button if you guys can, so we can bring some more people in. And we'll give some more shout outs. Ben Williams, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for stopping by. And he's from the WhatsApp group. Terry, what's going on? How you doing? And Paisa Gringo. Hey. All right. And okay, so is this MG Toe? I guess it's MG Toe. Before I was saying MGTO. So MG Toe, what's going on, buddy? All right. So like I said, we're talking about Colombia today. And Jason, why don't you tell us just a little bit about your experience with Colombia? How long have you been going? I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but some of the viewers might have not have seen last week's stream. So talk a little bit about your experience. How long have you been going to Colombia, and what do you really like about it? What keeps bringing you back?
Hey, yeah, of course. Thanks, David, for having me on again. It is my pleasure to be here. Always want to represent Colombia in the best light. I love traveling there. My first time was in 2003. I have visited now to Colombia probably over 30 times. If that's just a rough count, I usually go 2 to 3 times a year. Man, well, specifically Medellin, I just love the fact that it's La Tierra de Primavera Eternal, the land of eternal spring. The weather is very nice all year round. The people very friendly, very welcoming. The food, the culture. I mean, Travel and Leisure, Forbes, they rated consistently one of the happiest places, the happiest countries. The city itself has a lot of energy, a lot of good energy, and that's what drove me in, and it keeps me coming back.
Cool. All right, so if you guys have questions, anything about Colombia, just let us know. We do have a question here from Flashpoint Capital. He said, I used to date a Colombian girl. She was fire, but she was a little crazy. What has been your experience with Colombian women? And this is just your experience, right? So
yeah, absolutely, 100% my personal experience. I don't want to generalize this Colombian women, but a good majority of them can be very passionate, and for the most part, very jealous. And a lot of times they'll tell you like, "Oh, I'm very celosa." Like they don't want you really talking to other women. They're not into that whole "she's my friend" thing. Yeah, but for the most part, yeah, they're very serious. They tend to be very family oriented, very very warming. Just they're passionate, and they're not gonna really. I won't say crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and my experience, I mean, I haven't really had any issues with dating Colombian women. I do know, and I agree with you, Jason. They're very passionate. Like they're uh, very passionate, very family oriented. So I noticed that right off the bat. So family is everything to them, and if they have kids, their kids are everything to them. So just be aware of that if you do date a Colombian woman and she has kids, yeah, her kids are going to be number one. So yeah, but I've had good experiences. I really have. Haven't met the right one yet. Haven't met the right woman yet. Period. Whether she be Colombian, American, but yeah, it's I haven't had any issue. I haven't had any crazy crazy stories to share, like apparently Flashpoint does or has. Okay, let's see. We got another question here. Roth, what's going on? Thoughts on bringing young family, 2-year-old, 4-year-old, guessing to Colombia, right? I don't see a problem. Like it depends on where you travel to.
Yeah,
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't see a problem with that. I mean, Colombia in general, like okay, I can speak on Medellin. Obviously, I've been to Bogota. I've been to Cartegena. These are all like family friendly places. I've seen people from Europe with kids. Yeah, not especially Medellin. There's a zoo. There's an aquarium. There's lots of public parks. Yeah, you're not gonna take your kids to Parque Jettas, but there's lots of things to do with a 2 and 4-year-old, and that they'll have a great time.
Yeah, they have malls everywhere, and
Yeah.
like Jason was saying, there's parks all over. I mean, it's amazing how many different parks they have. And I'm talking about Medellin, and even when I was in Barranquilla, it was the same thing. They did have a lot of parks as well as they had um, a zoo there, and so they have a lot of stuff for kids. Yeah, you'll be. I don't see you having any issues or anything like that when it comes to bringing young kids. And plus, the plane ride, depending on where you're coming from, the plane ride's not that long.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you like you said you've been to Europe, so you've been on those long flights. Going to Colombia is not that far, and if you're, I mean, in some cases, you just all you need to do is get to Florida. If you can get to Florida, what is it, like 2.5 hours from Florida to get to Colombia? So your long haul is usually within in the U.S. So. All right, let's see other questions we have here. If you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button so we can bring more people in, and just let me know you're here just by saying hello. Let's see. And Flashpoint says yes, passionate indeed. Okay, what's the best way to handle? Okay, so MG Toe is asking what's the best way to handle jealousy. Like if you have a Colombian woman and she's jealous, what's the best way to handle that?
Um, no, I mean to just be 100% honest. Full transparency. If you're there was a time and period when I was dating someone, and I attempted to explain what I guess I believe dating to be in the US, which is like I'm dating. That means like I can go out and have dinner with you, and then I can go to the movies the day after tomorrow with someone else because I'm dating. I'm trying to find someone to have a relationship with. It didn't work out too well. I tried to explain it that I guess in the US, some people when they say I'm dating, that's what they're doing. They're going out with few people and then they'll commit to something when they feel that. And in Colombia, that argument didn't really work well at all for me. They kind of only like date one person at a time. I think just to be honest, like if you're just saying, hey, I want to see where this is going, we're kind of like, because I tried the whole thing with the WhatsApp and trying to hide my phone and keeping it locked and keeping the screen down on the table. It just they're smart.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
be honest. Just be honest about what you want, and then that way they can at least never come at you like you were dishonest with me. That would be my advice. And not just me getting older. I tried the games. I just turned 38 in May, so I'm kind of like a little bit more. I know what I want, but I think this is honesty is the best policy. 100.
Yeah, and it gets to that point where it's as you start getting older, it's too much of a headache to try to juggle things, and so I agree with you. Just be honest and try to upfront let them know, hey, this is what I want. I just want to date, and try to explain that to them as best you can, if that's what you're doing, if that's what you want. But if you are ready to settle down, then move forward with that. All right. MG Toe has another question. Jason, this is to you specifically. How has Medellin changed in the years you've been going? Is it getting better or worse from a dating standpoint?
Yeah, this is a great question, and I think I did kind of dip into this a little bit last week. It's the same. Okay, so what has changed in the last 10 years? 10 years ago, I had MSN Messenger, and I had MSN Messenger. I don't even think I had Skype 10 years ago, and that's what I used. This one girl I was talking to, she had siblings, so they had to take turns on the computer. So we talked for like an hour or two every day. When I was in Colombia 10 years ago, because I was on the ground, same thing. When I was there, I was expected to carry most of the bills, pay for everything. It has always been the mindset that, oh, you're dating someone from the US. They have a surplus of cash. Everyone there in the US is flush with cash, and the dollar goes so great here. And now 10 years ago, it was like $1 was like 2,000 pesos. Now $1 is like 3,400. So it's even gotten better over the last 10 years. So that hasn't changed. Dating wise, you're going to be expected to pay for dates and things like that, which I'm a gentleman. I do. I pay for dinner. Usually when I'm there, I pay for cabs, transportation here and there. Even when I'm there, if we're going to plan a trip to San Andres Isla or Cartegena, I'll pay for that. I mean, because the flights are not that much. I say with the Facebook's acquisition of WhatsApp and things like that, now with the video calling, this long distance dating has gotten a lot easier because you can kind of stay in contact. I do. I mean, one of the reasons my Spanish keeps improving is because I'm constantly talking Spanish all day long, every day through WhatsApp, voice notes, typing, video calling. It's made it a lot easier in that way. But just looking at your question, is it better or worse from a dating standpoint? I think overall it's better. You can get to know someone a lot quicker. And usually when I meet someone online or on social media, you know what they're about within the first week, just because now you have so much access to them, where before I could really only talk for like an hour every night because then her brother had to use the webcam, or her sister. Now everyone for the most part has their own cellular or tablet. You got more access to them. You can kind of figure out what they want a lot faster, and that's just by paying attention, by having honest conversations. And
Yeah, no, that you're 100% when it comes to that. I mean, with the internet, now it's easier for us to reach out to people all over the world and find out what they're really about just by going through their social media and just seeing that. I mean, and you could meet a girl like Colombian Cupid. You can meet a girl on Colombian Cupid, get the WhatsApp number, and then from there you can kind of, oh yeah, you have Instagram. Oh, I have Instagram. So you go on their Instagram, then you can start back from when they, go check out all their pictures from way back when they first started Instagram and look at a lot. You can get a lot of information from that. So yeah, we're in a different time now. And I think it's a lot easier to kind of weave our way through some of the stuff that goes on online, as far as people just out there trying to get your money and all that. But on the same note, it's easier for people to try to get your money now because there's more access now. So, and I remember, like, I'm dating myself, but I remember way back when eHarmony was like the big thing. And, I got on eHarmony way back in the day, and it was like great because everybody on there was like serious. And that was the way that they promoted that site. And then it got to the point where years have passed, and so now it's just so much like yeah, there are a lot of people on there that aren't serious. Let's just put it that way.
Even
And
in
I'm not
there,
on there anymore.
even in eHarmony.
Yeah. Oh, even on eHarmony. Yeah. And that, I mean, I could just remember back, like I would be able to go out and date quality women back then. Now it just does. It's not the same. And I say now, I haven't been on there in a couple years, but that's the reason that I had to get off, because it's like, oh man, this is not this is not what it used to be. So
Yeah, their marketing was good because they came out like, okay, Match is this, Match.com is this, and eHarmony. Listen, we have all these questionnaires that are done by like people with PhDs, and we're going to connect you on a different level. And I bought into the marketing part of it. I couldn't get over the price. It was just at that point, it was a little bit out of my price range. I remember like they used to do like on like maybe it was like Memorial Day weekend, like these holidays, they give you like the free weekend.
yeah,
And I did connect with some people. I couldn't get past the price, but
yeah. But I guess it's the whole technology thing.
like you
The
said,
more
now, right,
technology you
now they
have,
have more access to you as well now. So you got more
yeah,
access to them, but now they got more time.
yeah, and access to everyone else too. So it's not
Right,
so
right.
exclusive.
It's not just you, right?
Yeah, so they can kind of pick and choose, which is good, but it also, people can get a little more wishy-washy because of that. All right, let's see. Flashpoint Capital has another question here. The points guy said Medellin has his favorite place. Wait, hold on. The points guy said Medellin was his favorite place he's traveled to. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if Jason, if you know the points guy is. He's he has a credit card blog, travel credit cards. So
I recently found him just because you talking about it, and then I found his blog, and then I see he's supposed to have an app coming out sometime this year. So
oh really? I didn't even know that.
yeah, yeah. I've I've looked at his blog because I've heard you guys mention him a few times. So I kind of went in there and I started from like scratch, like how let's start with the best travel card and then how to use the points. A lot of stuff you already taught me, but I did take a look at his blog. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. That's how I learned all the travel credit card like hacks and just learning about travel credit cards in general. But recently, I think it was a couple months ago, he went to Medellin. And so it was cool to see. Actually, he went to Medellin and he went to Colombia or to Bogota. So it was just cool to see him out there, like, because in the travel credit card game, like he is, I mean, arguably he's the top when it comes to the information that's provided and all that. Like he's kind of the go-to. So it was interesting just to see him out there in Colombia and Medellin running around, and he liked it. I mean, he had a good time. He even flew over to Guatapé, and they jumped out of a helicopter there in Guatapé, right in the lake. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, I watched that episode. I think there were two. I think he tied in two episodes, but it was good. All right, let's see what else we have. If you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button so we can get some more people in. Looks like we got about 23 people. And so if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. If you're new to the channel, if you have not watched me before, if you watched me before but you never subscribed, please consider subscribing. We put out a live stream every Saturday and every Monday, as well as I put out videos on a regular basis. I put out a video today and I was talking just about safety, so travel safety. So I provided some tips on travel safety, just some things that you might not think about. So check that video out too. That it's out there. All right, let's see more questions. Okay, so David has a question here. Have either of you rented a car while in Colombia? I have not. What about you, Jason?
I have not.
Yeah, there's some crazy driving out there.
Listen,
I will say that.
I mean, they have the transitos, which is like the transit police. Is the motos, the motorcycles? They don't follow any law. They do whatever it is they want. It doesn't matter if it's raining. It's just. I live in Westchester County, New York. I'm about 40 minutes away from Manhattan. I don't want to drive in Manhattan, and Medellin is like 1,000 times worse. It's just no. I'm just not gonna do it.
It's crazy. I saw the last time that my last trip to Medellin, I saw a girl crash She was on a scooter, and it was pretty like it looked bad. It's one of those deals where now I look back on it. Oh God, it's one of those deals. I wanted to stop. I wasn't driving. I was sitting in the passenger seat, but
That's what I wanted.
Just picture this. So we're in the vehicle, and there's a girl on a scooter, and she's young. You could tell she was a young girl on a scooter, and she cuts in front of us, or not. She doesn't cut us off, but she gets in front of us, and then she wants to get over one more lane, but she doesn't see another motorcycle coming on our right, and so she just comes over and she hits the motorcycle, and she just turns over on her to her side. The other guy on the motorcycle, he had a pretty big motorcycle, so he didn't fall. He was able to keep his balance. But yeah, it's just bad it's one of those deals. But the thing is, in Colombia, there's so much traffic. So as soon as we got past, we couldn't stop. Like, we had to keep going because there's cars right behind us.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was pretty tragic. But I've seen a lot of I saw that. I saw another accident when I was in Colombia. It was just kind of a minor fender bender thing, but a guy in a taxi actually hit a bus.
Oh wow! I've seen a few. I've seen a few, and a couple of them pretty bad. But I guess to kind of, I don't know if this is where David was going. From what I've heard, it's very easy to rent a car there. You have your passport. You can show a valid U.S. driver's license, and it's not expensive. You can rent a car. It's fine. A lot of Airbnbs. You can search. Some of them have parking spaces for you. Some hotels will as well. So I haven't rented a car in Colombia, but from what I understand, it's not a difficult process. It's fairly simple.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna try to pull this little video up and fast forward it. So, Jason, if you could talk for a little bit. Let me see. We got another question. What's your ethnicity? Somebody wants to know what your ethnicity
I saw that. I'm going back and forth in the YouTube. The YouTube is a little delay, but
okay.
I'm Black. I'm African American. Real quick recap. When I was a lot younger, maybe like 5, 6 years old, the woman who babysat me, I lived with my aunt. My parents was divorced. I grew up with my aunt. She was Colombian. So I grew up listening to vallenato, cumbia, salsa. I was eating arepas. So I grew up almost like a Colombian kid would grow up. And my friends were Colombian in school. And here in the US, we're out of school for the summer between June and August, or June, September. I was always told by both sides, my family and the Colombian family, whether it be my friends from Bucaramanga, Bogota, Medellin, that I could not go to Colombia. It was too dangerous. Okay, after high school, I went into the United States Marine Corps. I went to the war in Iraq. And after the very first tour in Iraq, this was 2003, I came back and I told my best friend, if we can stay at your aunt's house in Medellin, I'll pay for your flight. And of course, the aunt said, yes, come. And that's a long story short, how I first went to Medellin in 2003. Fell in love with the mountains, the culture, the la clima, the weather, the people. And I really got serious about my Spanish, because that communication is a deal breaker. I've lost relationships with women because I just couldn't really interact with them. Like, one of my friends was saying to me at one time, like, yo, she's frustrated because she's telling these like sweet little nothings. It's like Colombian sayings, but I didn't understand. She's talking about mariposas and butterflies. And so I started, what I did was I started watching novellas. And this was 2003, 2004. I started watching novellas with the captions in English, but the audio in Espanol. And I started to hearing the words repetitively. And I started associating words I'm hearing with the word I am seeing it with English. I took French in high school. I didn't take Spanish or Italian. I took French. I don't speak a word of French. And I just made some relationships where I slowly, the first time was probably like in 2004 when I stayed in Colombia in Medellin for like 40 days. That was like one of that immersion where it was like fight or flight, like you're gonna sink or swim. Like, I was there for 40 days, and I'm telling you, by the time I left after being there for so long, it was crazy. I came back to the US and I almost had to like tell myself speak English again. but yeah, so I'm black. I'm now like fluent in Spanish, unless we're talking like medical, unless I'm talking to like a doctor and you're speaking to me about something medical or real estate or business wise, but just like normal conversation, I'm like 100% fluent now. So
Yeah, that's
anybody can do
good.
it.
Yeah, you got to teach me. I've been dabbling, but I've gone on Duolingo. Someone told me, I can't remember who I was talking with, but they were saying that they have like these Duolingo kind of meetups where
Oh,
you can
really?
go and yeah, and do kind of an immersion there anywhere, like all over different cities all over the world.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna start doing some more of those. But yeah, I definitely need to get that to get that game up because I mean I know a little bit now and I can understand a lot. But and I think Jason has talked about this before. Uh, you get embarrassed to speak Spanish, which you shouldn't be, but yeah, I know I do. I get embarrassed to speak it because I might be saying something wrong. But the good thing is, if you do say something wrong, people will correct you, but not in a bad way. But they just want to help you out, and that's like
100%. Yeah.
yeah, Colombia is one of those places, and pretty much anywhere. Like, and I could see it the same way. Like, if you know something and someone's doing something wrong or saying something wrong, you want to help them, right? I
Yeah.
mean, just like we're talking on this channel today about Colombia. Like we know a little bit about Colombia. Jason knows far more than I do, but we want to help. So if you guys have questions, we want to answer those for you. It's the same way with the language. People want to help you if they can, and they're not trying to belittle you or they laugh at you or saying ha 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 you
Yeah,
don't know what you're saying.
I think I remember a few times where someone kind of like laughed at me, but it wasn't in like a very negative way. It was just like, all right, first of all, they're gonna appreciate the fact that you're trying to speak their language, and they will correct you and they will help you. I remember early on, I don't know exactly what year this was, but I've already traveled to Colombia a few times, and a good friend of mine, he was getting ready to go, and we were there, and I was trying to like hit on this lady, and I was saying, estás casada? And I was asking her if she's married, but what I was trying to do was I was trying to say, si estás cansada, like, are you tired? So
Mm,
cansada, tired, casada, married. That end,
mm,
just that one end that I missed, and they were
mm.
laughing at me, and they're like, "Why you ask her if she's married?" And it's a fun, yeah. I mean, that was a long time ago, but I mean, but it's cool. I mean, but it definitely goes a long way when you're trying. I did see someone else because I'm flipping back and forth between the YouTube and then the stream thing that me and David are on. Someone
Mm.
asked about Google Translate. Yes, that is very common right now for people to have Google Translate. You could just you could just type something in your phone from English to Spanish, show it to her. She'll take your phone, type something back in Spanish, show it back to you in English. That's common. A good
Yeah,
friend of
and
mine.
you don't. I don't mean to cut you off,
Yeah,
but
you good.
Jason, you don't even have to type anymore. Like on Google Translate, you can just there's a little microphone on there. Hit that little microphone, and just talk. Say in English whatever you want to say, and then it will show what you're saying in English and in Spanish, and then it will even
It'll
say
say it.
in
Yeah.
Spanish what it is. Yeah, and you can have it on conversation mode, so you don't have to have it just where you hit the button and then you have to switch it back from Spanish to English. You can have it in conversation mode. So on one side is English. So if you click that and you speak in English, it translates into Spanish. Then on the other side is in Spanish. So you just click that Spanish button. If you speak Spanish, then it translates in English. So
Oh
you can
wow.
have a full on conversation. It's not. Uh, I I used it for the first time on my last trip when I was out there. Went on a couple of dates, and I used it. The first girl that I went out with, she was I could understand. I could understand her. Like even if she's speaking in Spanish through body language and a lot of that, I understood a lot of what she was saying. The second girl that I went out with, I didn't understand her. I didn't understand a lot of what she was saying, and so I was using it even more. But it's not that bad. It really isn't. I was very concerned about using it, thinking like, oh, there's just going to be this kind of awkward silence, and it's really not that bad because it's pretty quick. Like if you need it, and I know some Spanish, so I can say little things like little phrases. I can put stuff together. But if it's something that's a little more involved, like as far as a sentence structure, something that's a little longer, I might not know how to do that, so I'll just get on Google Translate and I'll say it, and then it'll tell her what I'm saying. So it does work. It's worth trying. And then once you spend time with someone, then you kind of know through. I'm telling you, a lot of body language. You'll know kind of what they're trying to say, or what they want. It doesn't. It's not that hard. Hey, I want to show you guys a video though. So let me set this scene up. So we were talking about the whole renting cars and all that. And I had we almost got an accident, and I happened to have my camera running at the time. And I did one of the things that you should never do, and I'm going to tell you what it is, so you won't make the same mistake. But we were out on a highway. We were out on a road, so there's no one around. But one thing you don't want to do is, I have a magnet that I usually put like my action camera. Depending on where I am, I'll put an action camera on top of the hood. And so that's what I did in this case. I had an action camera on top of the hood. We had a driver this whole trip. So for 5 days, we had a driver. And he would pretty much tell me, he would say, hey, you know what? This is an area where you can put it, you'll be fine. But in certain areas, you would tell us, hey, you need to take it down, because someone will just come by on a motorcycle and grab it and go, or someone will come up, because you have a lot of people like in downtown area that are just walking around out on the streets trying to sell you things and all that kind of stuff. So that's an easy target for them. It's $300. That's a month's worth of work for them. So it's definitely worth it for some criminal that that wants to come up to steal it. Okay, so anyway, setting the scene. I have this camera on top of the car. We're driving by. We're on a highway, so it's a one lane. So one lane up, one lane back, or one lane one way, one lane the other way. And we see this car come up on our left. And so he's trying to pass us because it's only one lane. So I guess we're not going fast enough for him. So he's trying to pass us. He gets over in the left lane. Well, I guess he didn't realize there was a car coming the other direction. And so instead of him slowing down and coming right, back behind us, he says, I can make it. And so he just starts speeding up, and we're side by side at this point, and there's a car coming, and he just gets over in time. I'm telling you, it was like, the video doesn't do it justice. It was pretty close. It was at least, 18 inches between our car and when he cut us off, because he had to cut in front of us. But it was close. And after that, I was like, yes, there's no way in the world I'm ever driving anywhere in Colombia, because it was a pretty bad experience. But I'm just going to show you guys real quick. So we'll share the screen here. And I don't rent cars anywhere. That's just not my thing. We just saw in the Dominican Republic, they're having some stuff going on there. But there was a couple that they wanted to get to the airport. It was late at night. They got in a car and they drove. And I heard the streets or some of the roads in Dominican Republic are really tough. But
they're waiting to see.
Yeah. So to me, it's just not worth it. Like, if I'm on vacation, I want to relax. I want to enjoy myself. It's cheap. Taxis are cheap. Uber's cheap. Why rent a car? Unless you're in a remote area where you don't really have a lot of taxis and stuff around, then that would make sense. But other than that, I don't really see the need to do it. Okay, so here's the scene here. we're on our way. I think this is the car here that's the one that comes in our way. But let me just play this real quick. Oh, I did a slow-mo, so we'll do slow-mo.
Oh, wow.
So pretty crazy. I hadn't seen anything like that before. Yeah. Oh, let me get this out of here. Okay, so let's go back to the questions. If anybody has questions, please please put it in the chat and we'll pull it up here.
Yeah, so
what's the best way to handle jealousy? Okay, we got all those. Yeah, and Jason, if you see any questions that stand out to you, just point it out and I'll pull it up. Let's see.
Yeah, well, I see Clifton is asking what's your routine after 30 trips. Well, if you haven't heard, Clifton, I'm planning on buying investing and buying real estate out there in Medellin. I plan on buying an apartment. My best friend's family is like my extended second family in Medellin. So yeah, every 4 months I'm out there, and it's usually kind of to visit them. I'm looking at properties. It's my happy place. I go to Medellin, I just relax. I kind of take a load off. So that is my routine. It's just to really go out there a couple of times a year. My job will give me about a month vacation, about 30 days vacation a year, not including weekends. So I kind of plan it where I do 3 10-day trips, but I kind of do it so I make sure I get out of those 10 days, I'm there for 2 weekends, because that's what you want. You want to go out on the weekends. So that was Clifton. John Wayne.
He's got that question there. Does Spanish give you an advantage?
Absolutely, 100%. Like I said, I've lost some early relationships from just not understanding the language.
How do you approach a woman though? Do you approach in Spanish or you approach in English?
For the most part in Spanish. It depends on the situation. If it depends on the situation. Like I said on other live streams, there's been times where I will purposely speak English, and almost I raise my voice like an octave. I'll speak English just enough loud so that someone would hear me speaking English, and that would maybe give me a look, someone pique interest, and then I'll say something in Spanish, and then one of the questions they like to ask a lot of times, oh, where are you from? And okay, now the door's open. So, but for most of the time, I approach them in Espanol.
Yeah. I do the opposite. I approach them in English because I don't speak that much Spanish, but I have found that if they do speak English or even a little bit, some English, they want to talk to you because they want to practice their English.
Yeah.
With you. So I have found that, and I'm, I agree with Jason. Like if you're exotic, so if you can speak or obviously you can speak English, but if you come at them with English, a lot of times they're intrigued. Why are you here? Where are you from? And how is life where you're from? And that kind of stuff. So I come at them with English, and if they just look at me like I don't understand what you're saying, then I'll go to Spanish, and then I'll just go from there. But yeah, I always come at them with English first. Okay, all right. Okay, we got Deshaun in the house.
Yeah,
Shout out to Deshaun. WhatsApp group. He's actually in Colombia right now. Where's Deshaun?
I think he's
I lost track of.
Is he in Cali or Bogota? No, he's in Bogota, but I think he's going like to Ecuador next week.
Oh, okay. Let us know where you are, Deshaun.
Where you at?
Yeah, but he's been there for a couple months now.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, let's see. And John Wayne says, "Are you Latin?" We got that out of the way. What else? Okay, so Deshaun's asking, what neighborhood should you stay away from for now in terms of apartment Airbnbs?
Personally, I would stay away from up north. So that means, okay, Medellin has the 2 metro lines. The metro is the elevated train, right? So you got one going from Itagüí in the south up north to Niquia. The other one is going to go east to west from San Javier to, I want to say, San Antonio. San Antonio is where the 2 lines cross. I stayed in Las Cabañas, which is on the outskirts of Bello 2 years ago. That was a little sketchy. The one I just stayed in March, I was supposed to stay in Castilla. Castilla is north and west of the little airport in Medellin, almost by San Javier. San Javier is Comuna 13, very bad. Belén Occidente, very bad. La Castilla, very bad. I booked the Airbnb. I'm ready to go. I read the reviews. The reviews told me, and this is how I review every Airbnb. I'm looking at people that were staying there recently, and they were saying great location, But at the same time, I'm looking at the news channels. I'm looking at Minuto 30. I'm looking at Prensa Paisa. These are news agencies on Instagram, and I just wasn't liking what I was seeing. It's Okay, so Medellin, the metro line runs right through the middle of Medellin. Right, it pretty much follows the river, El Rio Medellin. And as you get further from the river, the mountain goes up. And as you get further away from the river, as you start to go up the mountains, there's less tourists and there's more crime. And La Castilla is one of those places where I didn't like what I was seeing on the news. I canceled my Airbnb and I went back to my original. Where I like is Laureles. And that's just
Got it.
because there's some stuff going on. I've mentioned it before, but it's called invisible barriers, where there's a lot of fighting between gangs from different barrios. Barrios are neighborhoods. And basically, even a Colombian from Barranquilla got killed because he was in the wrong neighborhood. Like I used to always like to stay in a different neighborhood every time, so I can. Because who wants to stay in Poblado every time? Who wants to stay when there's nothing but other tourists around? I want to live like a local. It's a little bit more difficult nowadays because these invisible barriers. If you just in a neighborhood where these knuckleheads have grown up their whole life and they've never seen you, and now they see you, they think you're a threat. And I mean, there's one guy I think he was from the coast. I think he was from Barranquilla, and they just no questions asked. They just shot him because no one in the neighborhood recognized him. So that's why I canceled. So I would say look at some of these social media news channels: RCN, Caracol, Prensa Paisa. I'll write them in the chat. Just follow these things and see where a lot of this stuff is happening. It's not happening in Poblado. It's not really happening in Laureles. You should be okay in Sabaneta and Bigado. But that's just me personally. That's the first time I ever canceled the Airbnb, and that was La Castilla. I had it booked and everything. It wasn't saved. I booked. I paid for it. I lost money because I lost the little whatever $30 fee, but I just didn't like what I was saying in La Castilla.
Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna skip a few of the questions here. Let's see, Steven, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. We had a good question here from John Wayne. How to avoid being drugged. So this is a big thing that does happen from time to time in Colombia. I think Jason could tell you a little bit more about it, but yeah, you want to. Well, the first thing, and I have this in my little safety video that I put out today, but one of the things you really want to focus on is just pay attention. You got to pay attention to your stuff. Pay attention to your drinks. If you go out to a nightclub and stuff like that, never leave your drink unattended. And I would even say you need to watch your drink. Don't rely on your friends. Don't say, hey, I'm going to the restroom. Can you watch my drink? Because it's not their drink. So they might turn around. They might see a girl. And they want to talk to her. And they turn their back. And now someone's put something in your drink. And it might be a whole little setup there where these two girls are working together or what have you. Who knows, right? So, yeah, you want to watch your drink at all costs. And I think that's kind of the main thing, right? Like, can you think of any other stuff where you would be drugged or anything like that? Any other situation? I think the drink's probably the most common.
The drinks is the most common. And if we're talking about the Black Widow, the Devil's Breath, Scolpamina, I've heard stories back in the day where people will like just knock on a door or like knock on a window, and someone's mom would come and they would have it like in a napkin, they just blow it in their face, and almost instantaneously it would take effect over them. And then you would lose almost like human control. They would tell you open the door, do this, and you were like in some kind of zombie effect. But I don't. The last couple of cases of the Scolpamina that I've heard about, it was people their drink was drugged. And I mean, you're on vacation. You should have some money to not necessarily blow, but if you do happen to go to the bathroom and you start taking a piss and you're like, oh, I left my drink out there at the bar. For what it's worth, it's $3. Go buy another drink. Go buy another beer. Like it's not even worth it. Like you said, because a lot of these guys, not a lot of these people, they work in teams. And I don't even want to just say women, because a lot of time it's the woman doing the dirty work, but there's probably some guy that's over he's like a watcher. He's watching over them. And yeah, and if they're working in a team and you may have one girl that say dance with me, and you turn your back, and her homegirl's gonna put it in your drink. Watch your drink, and if you do mess up and go to the bathroom and forget your drink, you save yourself a whole lot of problems by just buying another drink. Because I've heard stories. They're in the news. You could go to elcolombiano.com.co. You could go to eltiempo.com.co. These are national Colombian websites, and you can look. As recently as, I want to say, 2 months ago, I think there was an American that died in Parquejetas from La Scopolamina, from the poisoning. And even not, there's ones that woke up broke, credit cards and everything maxed out, broke, and they like slept for like 20 hours. Is that worth it for $3? Just buy another beer. I mean, they got it where people, like in, I think in Bogota somewhere, where the security cams at the banks were like filming the people. Like, a car pulls up to the ATM, and the only guy that gets out the car is the victim, and the victim willingly goes to the ATM, pulls out as much money as he can, gets back in the car. They go to another ATM. Only the victim gets out the car, takes out as much money as he can, gets back in the car until that card is maxed out, and then they just dump them in front of his hotel.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably one of the craziest, dangerous drugs that I've heard of. And
Yeah.
to think about it, it comes from a flower, and you could walk down the streets of Bogota, you walk down the streets of Medellin, and you could look at it. That's the flower that this thing comes from.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Steven, I see that you have a question here about women. Let's see. How do women feel about older men? I'm going to save this question because I will have a woman from Colombia that lives in Colombia right now, and we'll ask her that question. Not today, but we'll ask her that question in the future. So keep checking our live streams every Monday. And when we have her on, I can't promise you next Monday because I will be out of the I'll be out on vacation next Monday. I still might do a live stream, but I won't be local, so I can't promise you. But I want to get her point of view because I think that's what you're asking. I can't speak for how women feel about older men, and so I can't answer that for you. And I don't date younger women generally. Usually, I'm dating women that are. I don't like dealing with all the nonsense. So I'm not dating a girl that's in her 20s. At the youngest, 35, so 35 and above. Usually the women are a little more established and they have either a career or something going for them. But the younger women, yeah, I'm not. That's too much drama for me to want to deal with. So that's just I've had more success that way. It just works out better, and that's not just Colombian women. I'm just talking in general. You start dating younger women, it's just they wear you out. Okay, let's see.
Let me just say one thing. I won't. All right, so Steven Scott, yeah. All right, so like Dave's mentioned, he's gonna have someone on that you get a female's perspective. Culturally, 10 to 12 years difference is very normal, and we're talking about the guy being older. It is what it is. Like, my homegirl who's my main connect down there, Lena. I think maybe Lena's maybe in her 40s, 45, and her husband Rafa is like in his 60s. It's just widely accepted. Here in the US, man, like if you're like 30 and you're dating like a 20-year-old, like people look at you like you're some. It's just. I'll leave it at that. Like it's much more culturally accepted. You see it a lot more in Colombia. Like the guy will be easily 10 years older.
Mm-hmm. And even in the US back in the day, it was more accepted. I think older men and younger women, and there was more of an age difference. So yeah, but I'll get her perspective because she can tell you, from a woman's point of view, how she views older men and how her friends view older men. Okay, let's see. We have a question from John. Any clubs to avoid by yourself? Basically, if you're, I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that really, because
Yeah, no, I can't really think of any. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're really on vacation by yourself, and let's say you want to go to Autopisto, which is the highway, that you're gonna have the chiflados, mangos, dulce Jesus mio, or if you go to Parque Jerez, or if you go to Las Palmas, you're gonna go to La Fonda Chismosas. You can get a table, you can get a bottle. There'll be a group of girls, and if your Spanish is on game and you could dance a little bit, you can have a good time. I don't. I can't think of a bar that I would say I wouldn't go there by myself, because now we're going back to the previous question. It was the main thing. Okay, if you're by yourself and you go out dancing with a girl, who's watching your drinks at the table, things like that. I just don't. I can't really think of a bar that I would say don't go there by yourself. I think you just gotta. No, I can't think of a bar that I could say, oh, it'll be dangerous to go there by yourself. I can't.
Yeah, and I would just say, just like we were talking about, watch your drink. So if you are by yourself, you're gonna want that drink with you at all times, and don't get drunk. Don't get drunk.
Yeah.
If you're by yourself, even when you're with friends, don't get drunk. But especially if you're by yourself, don't get drunk, because then you're a huge target. And I don't care what club you go to, people are gonna look at you. I mean, some people can look at you as a potential victim. So yeah, don't get drunk. All right, let's see. We got so David wants to know how what was Iraq like. So it's a little off topic, but
oh man, sucked. It sucked, man. I mean, okay, I graduated boot camp, and just based on some like little weird technicality thing, the first place I actually went when I graduated boot camp and left the country was to Okinawa, Japan. And that was because a reservist battalion out of Boston didn't have enough people to go. So when I graduated boot camp in 2003, my unit that I was assigned to was in Iraq for the first time. So they weren't due to be back for like 5 months. So it was like, oh, we're going to solve two birds with one stone. We're going to attach you to this reservist battalion and send you to Japan. So that was cool. So I was with a bunch of like cops and firemen that were like reservist Marines, and when I was in Japan. Great. First time out of the country, 6 months in Japan, Okinawa, it's an island, it's in the Pacific. I came back, North Carolina, and I think that February, man, we were in Iraq, and it was no fun and games. It was bad. I'll try to explain it like this, and this is gonna sound, I don't know how this is gonna sound. I was an infantryman, and I was attached to a sniper battalion. And about a month before I got to Iraq, sniper teams were going out 2 men. You had a shooter and you had a spotter, and they were going out 4 men. So 2 teams, 2 shooters, 2 spotters, and they were supposed to be 50%, 50%. That means half of them awake, half of them sleeping. And one night, all 4 of them fell asleep, and they were all killed. Like, some Iraqis walked up on them, killed them, took their radios, took their equipment. It was a whole thing. Like, they had to go around to all the bases and change the crypto in the radios because we didn't want them hearing what we were saying. So the commandant he changed the law of the Marine Corps. It was like, now you can't go outside of the wire. You can't leave the base less than 6 men. Problem is, there weren't enough snipers. So they took me, who was a regular infantryman, and said, we're going to attach some of you guys to sniper units. So that's what happened. I got attached to a sniper unit. I was pretty much like the workhorse. I would carry the radio. I would carry the Barrett 50 cal, which weighed like 80 pounds. But anyway, after we got back from that first thing in Iraq, I was invited to try out for the sniper team. I did that, and that's what I did the rest of my career. But what I said, it sounds bad, was we spent so much time living outside of the wire. I mean, just like living in like palm fields and living in the desert. We would never want someone to die, but we will almost hope during a firefight or like a missile that someone got hurt just enough so we could go back to base, so we could take a shower, have good food, and have a quick chance to email our family. And that's what happened. And there was a few times when we would get in a firefight, they would shoot mortars at us, and someone who got hurt and they had shrapnel in their arm or leg, not life endangering, but we were happy. Like, oh man, let's go get some grub, get a good shower, change clothes. Let me email my mom, and that's what happened because we had to get them to base to get the proper medical support, and they would tell us like Captain would be like, yo, you got 3 hours, and that's what we did in those 3 hours. We sent emails home, took a shower, got good chow, fresh clothes, and we were back out to the field because we just lived outside the wire, and it's crazy. There were so many people that never left base, and we were like always outside of the base, living in quarries.
Oh.
And but yeah, it was life changing experience. Who was that? That was David.
That was David at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Deshaun has a comment. She
Oh,
says,
is it
just a
Kali?
tip. I recommend Ripe. So I've never even heard of Ripe. So 30 minutes a day Skype calls with a tutor. So I guess that's a type of Spanish immersion. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out, Deshaun. Yeah, I haven't heard of that before. All right, we got Brian. We got what do they call you?
Bida.
Bitcoin Brian.
Bida.
Bitcoin Brian. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. Man, I appreciate it. Brian Bitcoin. That's what it is. Brian Bitcoin. All right. Let's see. What is this question here? Okay, Tiger Eyes. Excellent information, guys. I was in Medellin for 27 days in April. 27 days of heaven, living large, and brought money back home. I'll use it my next ticket to Medellin. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's one of the things I love about Colombia is the fact that your money goes so far when you're there. You can bring money home, and you can have a really good time when you were there. And Brian actually, he was just out there. Was it last week?
Yeah, last week.
And he was showing us some video footage of some of his places that he was staying in. And it's like, oh my God, it's just crazy. And probably wasn't spending that much. I know one, he said it was like $100 a month or $100 a month. I'm sorry, $100 a day, or maybe it was a little less than that. And then he said at that energy building in Medellin in El Poblado. I don't know how much he was paying for that, but that was. Did you see that one, Jason? That one was.
Yeah, he's the first one.
Impressive.
The first one he stayed at was the studio. That was like $115 a night. But then he moved into that like penthouse one that had the wraparound back in the jacuzzi. That was $290 a night, I want to say. But it was very nice. I would probably give half of my pinky on my right hand because I'm left-handed for a studio in energy living.
Yeah,
that's
a nice building.
It's a very nice building, and a lot of my friends have stayed there. And the one part that sucks is they all put the same picture on Instagram, which is them on that roof that's on the pool that's on top of the roof.
Yeah,
they put the same pic, but I have a lot of friends that have stayed there. I have not personally stayed there. Now that B-Dot kind of shared that some of those links, I may stay there for just a few. This is my thing. Like, if I'm going to be in Medellin the whole 10 days, I don't want to move. I don't want to like stay 5 days in Laureles and 5 days in Poblado. But I do want to stay in an energy living building. One good thing though is this woman I'm talking to now. I think I've shared pictures of her in the WhatsApp group. Very professional woman. She's 39. She has her own business. And I shared that with her, and she said, "Oh, it's a very nice apartment," but she said it's expensive, and I think you could find something cheaper. And she lives in Poblado, so that's a green light for me. That's a good sign that she was saying, "Why would you spend that much?" These are things to look out for when you're dating, because most people, if they live wherever and they don't have a pool in their complex, and they're all about it. Like, yes, baby, book that room for 10 days. The whole time you're here, I'm gonna pack it back and move over there. She was like, "No, I think why would you spend that money?" And that was a good sign for me, because that doesn't happen often.
No, it happens. It happens more than you want to admit. But I mean, yeah, it that is a good sign, though. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, Clifton. So Clifton saying same here. Was happy that I was under budget when I went to Medellin. Yeah, you can really make out well there and just have a good time, not really have to worry about money. That's what I like about Colombia. People say, and I love the women, and that's what got me there. but once you get there and you start seeing how reasonably priced everything is, it's like, wow, I could live here. I could spend a lot of time here and have a lot of money left over. All right, we got Marshawn in the building. What's going on, Marshawn? All right, let's see. All right, we got one more question. MG Toe, have either of you had any luck running a day game there? So going to the malls, meeting girls, stuff like that. Have you had any luck with that?
I have, yeah. That and that's one of the places where I will just speak English. I guess I call him Mauricio, a quote unquote cousin. But we always speak Spanish, and then I either hear someone say something in English, and I'll just start talking English, and he's looking at me like, "Por qué estás hablando inglés? Like, why why you speaking English?" And then I'm like, she's looking at us, and then so yeah, that's worked, and then that's worked in the Poblado as well. In Parquejetas, if you don't know, it's just like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 strips. 4 streets are just bars, and a lot of them don't even open until like 6, 7 p.m. If you walk around Parquejetas at like 11 noon, there's a few places open for lunch, but a lot of the bars, they're closed. But if you kind of just walk around that area, whether you're just getting your bearings because you just checked into your hotel, speak English, try to just say hello to some people in the street there, some women, and you could very easily set yourself up for something like, hey, I'll meet you out here like 8 o'clock tonight. And, not necessarily Colombian women because a lot of them don't stay in Parquejetas, but just walking around in the daytime, you might meet someone from Australia or Germany or France just walking around at the same time. So, yeah, day gaming should be definitely a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't really used my day game. Usually I already have stuff set up before I get there. But I've met people, but the last couple of girls we met, they were American. So we're in Cartegena. We meet some girls from America, but or from the US, I should say. But yeah, so I've heard the different things. Yeah, you can meet them at malls, you can meet them at clubs and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't really done that. Usually, like I said, I already have a couple already set up. So when I get there, I'll go out with them and then just kind of do that. And then if I'm with my buddies, then we'll go do our own little thing, go to the clubs and stuff. Okay, let's see. Deshaun says he's in Cali, and so he's still in Cali.
Yeah, I know he's going to Ecuador soon because he can only be in Colombia for so long, and I think his time's running up.
He can get that extension though. He hasn't been there more than 6 months or more than 3 months. So after the 3 months, he can get that, or he can get the extension and have another 3 months
for another 3. But yeah, I think he booked Ecuador already. I think that's booked.
Oh, did he? Okay, all right. All right. So we have Terry. He's got a question here, or maybe a statement. Let's see. My wife is Mexican, and I use the WT2 translator. It's a device she wears on her, and we're at one. My ear translate to English. Wow, that's a lot of work, though, isn't it? She's got to wear this thing the whole time, or what? You need to learn Spanish, man. Wow. So I want to know, Terry, how's that relationship working for you? And how did you meet her and all that? If you could put some of that stuff in the chat, I'm just interested to know how that works.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds like maybe something like they use at the UN or something like that. You know how it converts like in real time? Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I wonder how economical that is. I mean, for certain people, even if it's $300, it might be worth it to just buy it and take it down there.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Okay, so MG Toe is saying I've heard the food there is the food
is bland
today. Yeah, it's bland.
Where in Medellin?
I think he's just
Colombia
saying Colombia as a whole. Yeah,
I would have to disagree with that. I mean, my food is pretty in Medellin. It's seasoned pretty well. I have a nice steak. The chimichurri is pretty nice. Usually when I have the empanadas, the ají is picante, is good. Go ahead, though, Dave.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. It's different. I do like the food in Colombia. Like I had the bandeja paisa. I've had it 3 or 4 different times. That's kind of like the staple. That's like their traditional dish.
Yeah,
I'm not really a big fan of it. And like I said, I've tried a few different variations. They have a few different variations of it. It's a lot of food.
yeah.
It's beans, it's rice, it's ground beef. In some cases, it's chicharron, so that big pig fat thing. And they usually have like some type of sausage on there.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
chorizo or the morcilla, the
yeah,
blood
chorizo.
sausages.
Yeah.
I've had it a few places, and this is the thing. Like some places, you'll get the steak part. You'll get it as a like a steak, and some place you get the
Mhm,
carne molida, which like it's a steak, but then they ground it. They grind
mhm.
it, and I actually prefer the carne molida. I like the I like my steak grounded down because I like to mix it with the frijoles and the arroz. But I don't think I could say I've had a bland bandeja paisa.
It just, I'm not gonna say it's bland. It just wasn't. It wasn't for me. And
Okay.
and I, like I said, I've tried it. I've tried different variations of the same thing. Uh, I want to like it, but I just no, it's just not for me. Now I did have some other food in Colombia, and it was good. But just the bandeja paisa. That's the only thing that I wasn't really a big fan of. Another thing about Medellin is Medellin has a lot of like food from all over the world. So you can get pizza there. You can get a lot of food, and it tastes good. It's not like when I was in Thailand, I got pizza in Thailand, and yeah, it was not good. I got hamburger in Thailand. And it just, yeah, it wasn't good. So
That's how
yeah,
I feel
just
about the pizza in Colombia. It's just I mean I'm from New York, man. I just the pizza in
oh
Colombia
yeah,
it's horrible. It's so bad. It's so bad.
no,
No, it's bad. It's really
is it?
bad. It's
I actually liked
horrible.
it. There's a spot in El Poblado, and I can't think of the name of it right now. Oh man,
Piccolo?
God, I can't think of the name. No, no, it's a little small little restaurant, and maybe I'll pull it up when we're talking. But really good pizza. They had some really good pizza there,
It's
and
like
we went
it's like
when I stayed in.
Bisquick. It's like Bisquick pancake batter with sauce. Oh my
No, no,
god.
this was legit. It was like a legit Italian restaurant. They had some good. So they like in Medellin and El Poblado, they have a lot of like more high end cuisine, and like it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed that. But there are other things too. Like I like the fish there. Like I've gone to a few of the fish restaurants. The fish is really good. They have this stuff called uh, rice con pollo. Wait, no,
No. I know what you're talking. You're talking about
con coco,
the
the
arroz con
coconut
coco,
rice.
the coconut rice with the
Arroz con coco.
raisins.
Yeah,
Yeah, you like
that
that.
stuff. Whew, that is the best rice I've ever had in my life. So they have that. And that's not bland by any means. That's really good. So they usually have it on the coastal. Like if you go to Cartegena and Barranquilla, it's more popular. But in Medellin, you can also get it. The last fish restaurant I went to there, they had it, and it's good. It's a meal in itself.
Makuya.
Yeah,
It's
makuda.
Mercury translated. Yeah, you did a whole thing
Oh,
on you
yeah,
did a
yeah.
whole you did a whole
I did a
video on
little
that.
review on it. Yeah, that place was good, man. That
I
that was
tried
good
it. I
food.
tried it. I had the fish that was breaded that had the shrimp and
Oh, okay.
the crab meat on
Yeah,
it. Yeah, it was
that
good.
stuff was good. Oh man. So MG Toe, if you go back out to Medellin, try that spot, and it's in Laureles, and that food is good. You'll be satisfied. It's not bland at all. Okay, Clifton. Let's see. Next time I will try Laureles because it's a whole lot flatter than Poblado. Was a workout with those hills. Yeah, yeah. And I know Jason stayed in Laureles. I think Jason. I think you're the one that turned me on to Laureles this last time. But I stayed in Laureles this last time, and I won't go back to El Poblado to stay. Like I like Laureles. It's just that much better. I mean, it is flat. You have your little nightclubs and bars and stuff there, the restaurants there. You have all that. It's nice to go to El Poblado just to kind of sightsee, I guess, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
Go to Parquilletes at least once while you're there. But I had a much better time just being in Laureles. It's just a smaller kind of more local vibe. and I like that a lot. You don't have to deal with all the people everywhere, and yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, but it's just too many people, too many like foreigners. And I'm saying it like I'm a foreigner, but
Yeah, you
I
don't want
want
to
to
see that
be,
though.
yeah, I want to live like the locals. It's just like when I go to Aruba, or when I went to Aruba. Like you go to Aruba and all you see are foreigners. It's like I don't even feel like I'm in another country. I feel like I'm in the U.S. because it's just a lot of people from the U.S. and from Europe and all that. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah,
The difference.
100%. Yeah, Laureles is a completely different vibe. It's more local. Um, yeah, and like the guest was saying, man, it's just a lot flatter. Um, I really like Laureles. Yeah, it's a lot flatter, a lot of restaurants, a lot of good bars, and it's weird. It's kind of situated where it's like a maybe from the Estación Metro Poblado, not Poblado, Estación Metro Estadio is maybe like that's like the beginning of Setenta, and you got to walk up maybe like 3-4 blocks, and yeah, you'll see some tourists there, but not like Poblado, man, and that's why I like Laureles. It's cool. I like the vibe there.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see. John has a question here. Have you ever seen any one from the U.S. run out of cash in Colombia? I mean, I guess it's possible, right? There are a
Yeah.
lot of things you can spend money on, but my friends, no. Well, actually, no. You know what? I take that back. I had a buddy. Uh, he didn't have that much money when he came, but uh, let's see. Jason, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I just my mic. It sounded like it went out. Okay. Yeah. So I had a buddy. It was three of us. We went out. We went to Colombia. It's the first time I ever went to Colombia, and we were having a good old time. And he kind of he kind of ran out of money halfway through,
Mm.
and we were there for 10 days. And so I kept telling him, no, hey, I'll give you money. Don't worry about it. When we get back, you can, you can pay me back and all that stuff. But just enjoy yourself. Have a good time while you're here. And he just didn't want it. He didn't want to. He didn't want to take any money from us. So halfway through our trip, we were in Cartegena. We went to Bogota for a couple of days, and then we flew out to Cartegena, and we were there. And like I said, like the third day in
Oh
Cartegena,
man.
he ran out of money, and he was going through some stuff. And I don't want to get all into his business, but let's just say he had some issues that he had to deal with as far as child support and stuff like that. He wasn't behind on child support, but he was keeping up on his child support, so he didn't have the funds that he used to have. So anyway, I was telling him, hey, I'll give you money, don't worry about it. And I even got to the point the last couple of days, I'm like, look, just I'll give you money, you don't have to pay me back. Because you're out there, you're having a good time. You want your friend to be able to have a good time
want
as
to keep it
well,
going, yeah.
And there's three of us, so me and my other buddy, we're going out and doing all this stuff, and he's not able to do stuff. Man, we would go to the grocery store and buy like food so he could it was just because he didn't want to go out to the restaurants, he didn't want to do any of that. So anyway, yeah, he ran out of money. He ran out of money out there, and he was too proud to want to get any money from us. So yeah, that was kind of a sad note because I mean we were having a good time. We were going. They have these Chiva buses, and I don't know if you've been on one, Jason, but
Yeah.
yeah, you get on the Chiva bus. It's like it's just a big bus, it's not quite. How do you describe that bus? It's kind of like a safari bus, really. It's open on the sides,
Right.
so there's no windows.
They kind of gut the seats almost like a regular bus, and they put the seats around like the circumference, and then there's like this open area in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And then there's no windows, so you can see out. And they usually have like a band that's there. They play music, they pass around alcohol, and you drink. And it's just a party bus, and you're just going through out the city. And then they'll stop at certain points, like we did it in Cartagena, and they'll stop at certain points where you can get out and kind of hang out. And then they took us to a couple of the clubs in the area. So it was a good time, and we did that. I think we did it twice. We did it for 2 nights, and my other buddy couldn't do it because he didn't have any money.
And the Chiefs is a good time, yeah.
Yeah. and it's not that expensive either. But like I told him, I would have paid for him, but he just didn't want to. He didn't want to do it. So all right. So Terry, let's see. So the WT2 translator, it works good. I recommend it. Where here's Spanish and you can hear in English. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'm not really. I want to learn Spanish though. I don't. I don't want any crutches. One of the good things about, and Jason, chime in if you agree with me or if you disagree, whatever. But one of the good things about just going to another country and not knowing the language is you'll start learning. You'll learn real quick because there's certain things you need and you want, and you're gonna have to either say it or you're gonna have to. You have to use your Spanish. And so yeah, I don't want a crutch. I want to be able to get out there and not have something that I can fall back on. I want to be able to. I'll use, and what I do now, like if I'm talking to people now, a lot of what I do, and I'll kind of prepare stuff. If I go to a restaurant, I kind of know what I want to ask for. Some of the stuff I already know in Spanish, but some of the stuff I might not know, I'll pull up Google Translate real quick and find out what I need, how to say things, and then say it to them in Spanish. So I'm forcing I'm forcing myself to say things as opposed to just hitting Google Translate and showing them what I want, because I want to learn. And I would guess, Terry, in your situation, you're going to want to learn Spanish since you're married to a Mexican woman who speaks Spanish. All right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with that. Yeah, you want to do that, and the more time you spend there in country, it's gonna get easier. But yeah, as far as even going out to like a restaurant, if I want to have steak, or if I want to have the pork chops, just do a quick Google to say how do you say that, and then you can expect the waiter to ask you how do you want to cook. Oh, mediano or tres cuatros is like medium well, something like that. But yeah, I agree with that, Dave. You don't want to crutch. You want to learn, and the more you try, like you'll be surprised how quickly you do pick it up.
All right, we just lost Jason.
No, I'm
All
here.
right. Oh, here. All right. He lost you for a second. So all right, so let's see. Terry has another. Oh, he's asking about travel insurance. So, can you get travel insurance that will help you with a doctor visit or hospital visit? So, I can answer this for you. When it comes to travel insurance, they're not going to help you with like just a normal doctor visit. So, if there's an emergency, yes, they will. Your travel insurance will help you with that. Certain credit cards will give you some travel insurance, so like medical insurance for emergency purposes. You can also get online. I just looked because I'll be going back to Colombia. I'll be hanging out with Jason in October. So I just looked. I had never gotten travel insurance before. Like I've always used my credit card, and the credit card that I use, I get like $2,500 towards like an emergency. But that's not a lot. So if you have anything that's major, $2,500 is not going to go very far. But you can get travel insurance for it's like $45, and it depends on your age and all that stuff. You have to put all that information in there, but it covers a lot. So it will cover up to like $50,000 for some of like if it's an emergency medical procedure that has to happen. They'll do emergency evacuation. I think it's $250,000. So they will get you. They might not take you directly back to the U.S., but they'll take you to an appropriate hospital that can help you if they don't have it in the country that you're in. Now, credit cards will also do that. Like I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card that I have. I use that whenever I travel. And this is kind of a tip. I know we're talking about Colombia, but I'll talk a little bit about credit cards for a second. Whenever you travel, you should always use a credit card anyway. Travel credit cards are even better because travel credit cards, some of them, the higher end travel credit cards will have that travel insurance. So they'll have that emergency evacuation built in. So the Chase Sapphire Reserve, $100,000 emergency I just lost my train of thought. Evacuation, emergency evacuation, and that also covers, like, so let's say there's civil unrest or something like that, and let's say if you were in Venezuela when everything really started to pop off, then they can get you out of the country, and obviously it costs money. So if you're using your credit card, you have that travel insurance, so you don't have to pay it up. The 100,000 is paid for. So just things like that, just something to think about when it comes down to traveling. But I highly recommend now, and I didn't know it was only $45, but it's very inexpensive and it's worth it, because I knock on wood, I've never had an incident where I've gotten injured or anything in another country. But if you do, they need that money before you leave. So if you need medical treatment, you have to pay up front. There's no, I'll pay you in installments, or I'll pay you when I get back. No, they need the money up front. And most insurance companies aren't going to be covering you worldwide. So you can have insurance in the US. I have insurance out here, but if I'm in another country, it's not going to apply. So look into that, definitely. Do you have any input on that, Jason? Or?
No, I mean, nothing personally. Just on Netflix, there is a show called I think it's called like Bad Holidays Abroad or something like that. It was like a spin-off from like Locked Up Abroad, but it was just like horror stories from. It was based out of England, but I remember 2 episodes that stand up very clearly to me. One was from Thailand, and one was from somewhere in the Caribbean, where one person was shot during an armed robbery in the Caribbean, and then the one in Thailand, I believe it was, the chick rented a scooter and crashed. And in both the instances, they didn't have insurance, and we're talking of like someone that was shot and like another person that had like a really bad accident on a scooter, and the hospitals in Thailand and the Caribbean, they wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't even give them an aspirin until they had like 5,000 US like guaranteed funds. So that's just, I mean, yeah. Once again, it was on Netflix. It's supposed to be based on true stories. Like I said, it's called Bad Experiences Abroad or Bad Holidays Abroad. You can look it up yourself. But just the fact that, could you imagine if you were in the Caribbean and someone tried to rob you and they shot you in your stomach, and the doctor said, we're not even giving you nothing for pain to make you comfortable until we have 5,000 or 10,000 US. And I don't know if that's just because in the past they've gotten beat, like they've patched someone up and then they go back to wherever they come from, and then now they're beat for the bill. But yeah, well, like David, thank God, I've done my little share of traveling, and I've never had anything too crazy.
Yeah, yeah, you don't want that to happen for sure.
You don't.
You never want it to happen, but you want to be prepared if it does. All right, give a shout out to Fresh. We got Fresh in the building.
Flyboy.
So Flyboy, the Flyboy way. I got a link for you guys. So check out his channel. He's almost at 1,000 subscribers, so let's get him there. Got a real good channel. It's a travel channel. Talks all about his adventures, and he's going all over. He was in Colombia with us for Carnival. He went to Cuba,
Brazil.
He travels everywhere. Yeah. So check out his channel. He's got a lot of good content there. And there's the link. So just go ahead and click on that link and subscribe. First thing you do, subscribe to his channel. Okay. Let's see. MG Toes got another question for us. I've heard that women there are pretty flaky. Have you had any luck in overcoming that? I actually had a woman beat me. She beat me to dinner, so that was pretty interesting. And she met me in Laureles, and so it was one of those deals where I picked the restaurant right out in front of my hotel, so I could pretty much just be there, just sitting. And I'm not gonna lie, in the back of my head, I was thinking, well, if she never shows up, I could see the restaurant from my hotel room. So it's no big deal. Just go back upstairs and relax, or just eat and do it like that. But she beat me there. She was there 15 minutes early. So she tells me I'm here. I look out the window. Sure enough, she's there. like, just give me a couple minutes. Ran downstairs. But I did have one date that was 30 minutes late. That's the most.
Hmm.
Other than that, it's like, I mean, they might come right on time or just a little bit late. But and then I did have one girl that just completely flaked on me. But it was one of those. It was one of those flake. It was, like, I always contact them. Like, I contacted her the night before. Hey, we're all set. We're gonna go to this Mediterranean place, and it was in El Poblado. And then that same day, I had gone out. Like, I was out. We went out and did some, not excursions, but we were with our driver, and he was just taking us around, showing us some different sites. And then I text her that like 3 hours before we were going to meet, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to go." Like, you're not going to text me and let me know beforehand? So yeah, I've had stuff like that happen, but I didn't actually go to the restaurant and just wait and her not be there. But I would think, and I know Jason wants to chime in, but I would think the best way to do it is like texting them right before, maybe a couple hours, 3 hours before, just to confirm, hey, just confirm we'll be meeting at whatever. Now, if they're late, they're late, but at least they're saying, hey, yeah, I'm still I'm still gonna go. Because what you don't want to do is get there and there's like what was it, 90 Day Fiance.
Oh man.
I brought up a bad word to Jason, but yeah, when you're sitting there and they never show up. So yeah, at least reach out to them, and if they don't respond, that's a good sign. They're not going to be showing up. So don't show up. What do you think, Jason?
No, excellent advice. I'm the same way. I've had a few women flick out on me. Like, we've had something set up. The night prior I've confirmed, and then now it's the day of, and it's like, hey, I'm getting ready to leave. I should be there in about an hour. And either they say I can't do it because this or that, or they just don't answer me. And then, yeah, I just don't go. But I would never put myself in that situation where I'm at the man. This guy Rich in Medellin, he was at the restaurant with roses, like sitting at a table, and there's other people like around him because it's a restaurant. They're eating, looking at this guy like, who is this guy sitting at a table with roses by himself? And there's people filming him. minus the film crew. I still would never put myself in that situation where I'm just like sitting at some restaurant waiting for someone to come. And he waited like 3-4 hours. Like,
it's got to be staged though, Jason. It has to be, man.
I think so, man. I think so.
Man, they probably called that girl and told her not to show up.
Yeah, they could have did it for the ratings to make it more suspenseful. But no, I mean, there's some Colombian women that are flaky, and they'll do that. And a lot of times it's because maybe they got something else going on, and you want to make sure you got something going on as well. Maybe I don't know. Just yeah, like I tell a story in the WhatsApp group about this one time where somehow this one girl I was talking to in Colombia, she accidentally like sent me an attachment in an email, and it was a calendar. And in this calendar, it was showing what day I got to Medellin, what day I was leaving, and then it was like what day like some other guy was getting there, and he was coming from California, just coincidentally, and it was and that like really opened my eyes to like, oh man, like some of these they're organized, like she accidentally sent it to me, and it was like, oh. It literally is a calendar saying Jason gets here this day. This is when Jason's going back to New York. This guy gets here from California. Like I knew he was going through Houston. Like it was like quite detailed, and I was like, she definitely didn't mean to send me this. But yeah. I mean, yeah. I like you do though. I would try to recommit like the night prior. And then actually, when I'm starting to get ready, be like, hey, all right, so I'm going to be ready to leave the hotel or the Airbnb in about 2 hours or in an hour. So I'll meet you there. And if she says, yeah, I'm getting ready, everything's okay, then everything's a go. But
Mm.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't put myself out there by showing up somewhere without knowing that you're like on the way.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. We got about
Yes,
28 people in here, so we can
yes, sir.
get some more people in here. And if you are new here, please subscribe to the channel. We are here every Monday, every Saturday, and then I put out videos throughout the week. Yeah, just subscribe. Subscribe. All right, we got another question out here. So MG Toe, for Colombian pregame, do you prefer Tinder or Colombian Cupid? Which is better? I've never used Tinder. I've used Colombian Cupid and it's worked for me. But yeah, I've never used Tinder. What do you? How do you feel about the Tinder or Colombian Cupid?
I've used both. I've used both. Um, I feel like they're almost equal as far as like finding someone who maybe wants to meet someone, and then maybe I like Colombia Cupid better because I can niche down. I can look for someone who doesn't have kids. I can look for someone whose English is good or fluent or even somewhat. Tinder, you got a picture and whatever they feel like putting in their profile. A lot of people on Tinder, they don't say if they have kids or not. That's just one of that's a pet peeve of mine. I have bad experience dating people with kids, so I tend not to look for them. So at least on Colombia Cupid, I can search for people that don't have kids. That's led me into trouble in the past because people have lied and said they didn't have kids when they did. But for those reasons, I prefer Colombia Cupid. I've tried
Okay.
both.
All right. Let's see. Deshaun, he has responded. He
Yeah, I
said,
see.
Ecuador isn't booked, but I want to see the rest of South America before I spend the next 90 days in Colombia. Okay, cool. So looks like he wants to get around and then come back to Colombia for the rest of his 90 days. Cool. And then you got another 90 days on top of that if you if you really want to do it. So Deshaun, he's what is a computer programmer, so he's able to pretty much work from anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the new thing. I mean, it's funny, but I don't know. When I was growing up, and I'm a little older than than some of us, that wasn't really a thing. Like working remotely and being able to do the whole digital nomad thing. It wasn't really a deal. We didn't have like YouTube. We didn't have internet. I didn't start using the internet until I got into college. So prior to that, like, I mean, I guess, did I even, no, I didn't really use it. Oh, I did use internet. If you want to call the Commodore 64, the Commodore 128 with the dial-up modem. Yeah. All right.
now you dating.
Yeah, I'm just going to stop. But yeah, that was the internet. Billboards, the bulletin board things. Okay. So we got Terry here. Would like to go to Colombia next year going. What want to go to the beach or what? So you want to go to a beach, but you don't like hot weather.
Don't go to
It's
Cartagena.
all hot. It's all hot. I
Car-
can't think of a beach. My experience, I can think of a beach where it's not hot. You're gonna
Cartagena.
have kind of that, yeah, that hot, sticky weather. Cartagena is very hot and sticky. So I don't know. I've never been to Santa Marta, but I would imagine it's probably very similar. Anywhere on the coast, you're gonna probably have that. But I mean, you get used to it after a while, and you can stay indoors during the day, and then in the evening you can come out and go to the beach and stuff like that. Now, I will say Cartagena's beach right there in Boca Grande, it's not that nice of a beach. You're gonna want to you're gonna want to go to some of the islands. That's where the beaches are really nice. Uh, that's just in my experience. That's what I've seen. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I agree. I went to Isla Rosario because I was staying in La Laguito, right there in Cartagena. There's like a little freshwater lake, and that's where our hotel was. But we did a day trip to Isla Rosario, and like night and day, man. Like the beach right there in front of the hotel with Cartagena, the water was almost like the Atlantic. It was like kind of greenish, darkish, and Isla Rosario, white sand, blue water, very nice. But Cartagena is hot. I say all the time. I say the sun is very different there, and we have had people in WhatsApp groups say, "Oh, well, I'm from Florida," and I'm like, "All right," and then they get to Cartagena, like, "No, it's hot." I'm like, "Yeah, it's even different from Miami." Um,
Mm.
I would try on the Pacific side, so that could be Buenaventura, although I hear it's kind of dangerous. So it's not too good on that side. That's because remember, Colombia has the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific. What splits that up is Panama, because Colombia runs into Panama. So if you go like almost like what Cali is, and if you keep going west, you'll get to like Buenaventura and the Pacific. It may be a little more cooler there. I just know that northern coast where Santa Marta, Barranquilla, Cartagena. I've only experienced Cartagena. It was hot.
Yeah. Barranquilla was hot. It was hot too. Yeah, so I don't think you're going to be able to really avoid the weather. Hey, Deshaun has a question. Let's see. Can you speak on possible tax consequences if you stay longer than 6 months? I don't know the answer to that. Do you know anything about
No,
taxes?
no. I remember it might have been like 5 or 6 years ago. There was an American couple there, and we were behind them in emigracion, leaving. We were leaving Medellin, and he overstayed his 90 days. And I can't remember the amount. For some reason, I want to say like $300, but like he didn't have it, and there was like this whole big issue. Like he had to pay. I would assume you could Google it to see what the penalty is, but if you do overstay, you're gonna have to pay. So
Mm.
if you're even thinking about staying past the 90, I would go to the consulate tomorrow or sometime this week and just apply for the extension. That way you have it regardless. I don't know if it's consecutive, like if you leave Colombia to go wherever, Cartagena, Ecuador or Argentina, and you come back and it resets, or if it keeps counting even after you leave. I would figure all that out. But I do remember there was one like American, and he had an issue, and he didn't have money, and I don't even know how that issue got resolved because we were right past them.
Oh,
But
okay. And I don't know if Deshaun's asking tax consequences if you stay longer. I don't know if he's asking as far as like a fee that you have to pay if you stay over you stay over your visa, or if he's asking like if you have a business, like he's doing his work and he stays over 6 months, does he
gotcha.
have to pay taxes to the country?
Right, because he's working remotely there. Okay,
Yeah,
that does make sense.
I don't know the answer either when it comes to that. When it comes to taxes, you know what? B dot might know.
Yeah.
He's got stuff going on out there. B dot might have an answer, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Deshaun also says arepas are bland. I don't like it. The bread's not arepa sandwiches, but no, food is not bland. It's not traditional, so I might not like hamburgers, hot dogs, pizzas. Okay. Well, you've been out there a long time, man, and not like the food. What are you doing? You're losing a lot of weight. Shoot. But yeah, the arepas. But you put that little stuff on it. It has that little, I don't know, little salsa or whatever it is. It's not salsa. I don't know what it's called, but they have that little stuff that you put over the arepas when you eat them. I don't know. Yeah, I actually like the arepas. I think they're pretty good. All right, let's see. Terry's got a question. Is there a beach or a lake you can recommend that is not hot? So I won't recommend a beach because I think the beaches are all going to be kind of the same as far as the weather. But if you go to Guatape is not very hot, or it's a little hotter than Medellin, but they have a lake there, so there's water there. That's the only thing I can. That's the only thing I can think of. Do you have any other ideas?
No, yeah.
Terry here?
Guatape.
Yeah, I can't think of any other lakes. I know Andre and Andrea. They went to where did they go? Pieta. They went to some different places, and there was some water there, like waterfalls and stuff like that.
Yeah, they went
Uh,
to Manizales and Pereira, and right there, well, it's called Santa Rosa de Cabal. They have those termales. Those termales is like a natural hot spring, And
Mm.
I'm not sure what the weather's like, but the water is actually warm because it's like kind of like Yosemite. It's like a natural hot spring where the water's coming out of the earth, the volcanic earth. Is the water's warm. Um, but yeah, I've always wanted to go there as well. I haven't been there, but and even like Andrea said, and Andrea, that's where locals go on vacation. So another good place to go, Los Santa Rosa de Cabal. You probably won't see too many tourists there.
Hmm. And what was that? What was the other place? The place that you talk about all the time? The island,
Oh, San
uh,
Andres.
San Andres. Yeah.
That's my home away
So
from home, away from home. Love it.
yeah, is it? I would imagine it's probably hot out there too.
Yeah, it's very hot. It's right off the
Yeah.
coast of Nicaragua. So it's kind of like
Hmm.
if you want to like where you're going next week, Hawaii. Like it's really nowhere near Colombia mainland, but it's right off the coast of Nicaragua. Um, there's two islands, San Andres and Providencia. Yeah, it's very hot, 90s, high 80s, 90s, but beautiful island. Avianca flies out there. Viva Colombia flies out there. You do have to buy a. Last time I went, it was 110,000 pesos every person. It's a voucher you have to buy when you check in at the airport, and it has to be in cash. You can't pay it on credit card. So when you check in, you have to buy 110,000 pesos. It's a little voucher saying because the island is small. On a moto, and they also rent golf carts. You could drive around the whole island in like an hour. It's a very small island, and they're trying to stop a lot of people from mainland Colombia that are looking for work to go out there to be fishermen. You need this little document when you get there if you're staying, I think up to like 30 days or something like that. And
Mm.
that's just document you coming into the island and then leaving the island because the island's so small, it just can't sustain like so many people there. But San Andres Isla, it's a paradise, man. It's a
Yeah.
paradise. I will Google it. I will look into it. Beautiful.
So I wonder how do you live there? Then, like, how do people live there? How are you able to live there?
I don't. I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna be very
Yeah.
honest. I don't know. Like, if you wanted to move from like Medellin or Bogota to San Andres Island, I don't know how you would do that. You probably have to show the country why it's a good idea for you to move out there. Maybe if you're a business owner.
Yeah.
A lot of the shops out there are owned by Arabs, which is completely like mind blowing. Boom.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's interesting.
you go to a lot of the shops, and like I said, it's a Colombian island off the coast of Nicaragua, and a lot of the people that own these shops, and they sell like secondhand perfumes. That's a big business there. Sheets, sabanas, like sheets for your bed. That's a big thing there, which I don't understand why because sheets are so heavy. But almost every woman that I invited out there, they was like, I gotta bring my mom sheets, and I'm just always like, yo, do you know how heavy this is in the suitcase? It's the weirdest thing. Do you buy the sheets in San Andres Island? I can't explain it. I don't. Maybe because, like I said, it's the Egyptian threat. That's I don't know.
Okay, so Clifton has a comment to make. He says, "I have to agree about the food. Coming from Southern California, I'm used to Mexican food. Colombian food has no spiciness to it, kind of bland. But empanadas were good. Yeah, I like the empanadas. I like the arepas. The only thing I had an issue with was
The bandeja
the
paisa.
bandeja paisa. Yeah. All right, we got HD chilling in the building. $20 super chat. Thanks, buddy. Thank you very much. That's Hardy. He's from our WhatsApp group, and he is always supporting.
Yeah,
I really
always.
appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see. Let me go back up here. Okay. Pariah has a question here. Let's see. I see Ace Live is going to Asia. Okay. TEC doesn't like Asia. I didn't say I don't like Asia. I've only been to one country. I've only gone to Thailand, and I just didn't like the food. So the same conversation we're having right now. Yeah, I didn't really like the food too much, but everything else was good. The beaches were real nice. Going to the different islands was really nice. Now let's give Ace a plug right now. He's going to Asia, so you got to check out his last video he just put out. He will be going to Asia. I don't know if he disclosed exactly where, so we're not going to put that out there. But he has another WhatsApp group. So he has the WhatsApp group for Colombia. So if you're interested in traveling to Colombia, you can jump in his WhatsApp group. All you need to do is go to his channel, and you can just look at the description on one of his videos, one of his later videos, and you can get information on how to join the WhatsApp group for Colombia. But he's starting a new WhatsApp group for Asia. So you can join that one as well. And I'm telling you, these groups, the WhatsApp group for Colombia was, I mean, that pretty much really came at the right time for me, because I was in a kind of a transition where I'd gone to Colombia a few times with pretty much all my friends and the friends that could still travel, and they didn't want to go anymore. And I like Colombia so much, I wanted to keep traveling to Colombia, but I didn't really want to go solo. So this group came at the right time. It came at a time where I was able to do it that way, the opposite. Yeah, let's just flip this up. All right. He kind of stepped away. I don't want to show him not there. Okay. So yeah, it came at the right time for me, because it was a situation where all my friends, they didn't really want to go back. Like, I have some friends that like to travel, but they don't want to go back to the same places. And so join the WhatsApp group, and like-minded people that like going to Colombia. So now, I mean, there's constantly people in Colombia. So anytime I go to Colombia from here on out, there'll be people there that I can link up with and hang out and do that kind of stuff. So it came at the perfect time, and it allowed me to go to Carnival, which I wasn't really thinking about doing at the time. But when that opportunity came up, I'm like, yeah, I can go. Use some points. I can fly out there. Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, it's a real good thing. So if you are a traveler, especially if you travel solo, it's great to just kind of link up with different people. You can get different points of view, and you can find out how to really make it happen. And then you can meet people when you're there. And these are people that they're not like complete strangers because you've chatted with them online on WhatsApp. If you've never used WhatsApp, and this is funny too, I'd never used WhatsApp prior to getting it. Well, no, I'm lying. I used it, but I only use it when I go to Colombia. Like, I'll get on WhatsApp because that's what everyone uses out there. But I only use it for that short period of time, and then when I come back home, then I don't use it anymore. And I just used it for texting, but I didn't know that they had like groups that you can get like a WhatsApp group together with people, and it's really convenient because you get notifications when people put stuff out, and then it's just like you're a large group text. So, all right. Let's see. We got a couple more questions here, and let's see. What are the top 3 things about Colombia that makes it your favorite place to visit? The women, the cost of living, and I like the fact that everything is modern, and not in every city, obviously, but you go to Medellin, you have modern. It doesn't. I don't feel like I'm in another country. Like, I feel like I'm in the U.S. Really, the buildings are modern. You go to the malls; they're modern. The food is, in my impression, the food is good, and things are reasonable. So those are those are the 3 things that I really like. What about you? What are your three major
Yeah,
reasons why you like Colombia?
mine first of all is going to be just the exchange rate, the way the dollar goes. That's big. That's probably first and foremost, because I just get so much bang for my buck, whether it's in investing in an apartment or just going on vacation. I mean, I've gone on and invited a woman for a steak dinner at an Argentinian steakhouse. I'm talking nice ribeyes, all the trimmings and the sides, and a bottle of wine, and it was like 360,000 pesos. It's like $110, and it's just like come on. And then you factor in the weather. Weather's gonna be second to me. Just I love the weather, and then third would probably be the woman. And like it just the women like didn't even like top the list for me. It was really like how far does my dollar go, and then like the weather. It just um yeah. So that makes it, man, for me, man. I'm just sold on it.
Yeah. What got you there though?
The
What
the
was the
the
initial?
the women, no, the women got me there. The women brought me in. Okay, so maybe I should give them a little more credit. The women brought me there. Because I've
But
heard,
now you've kind of changed
yeah. Now that I've
after.
now, yeah. I mean, I guess you kind of look like, okay, who was Halle Berry used to marry to that played on the Braves? Was that Dave Justice or whatever? And
Yeah,
he,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? I guess when you have the hottest woman in the world and you have her in bed every night, after a while you get tired of it. So even how crazy that sounds, yeah. Once you've been to Colombia and you've been with like some very beautiful woman, then you start to notice the other things, like if that makes sense.
No, no, it does absolutely. And then they become just as important, or if not more important
Yeah,
than the what brought you there. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. And I'm saying my as far as order, I'm not doing 1, 2, 3, but the three things, yeah, those are the three things,
yeah.
definitely.
Okay, so I would agree. Those are the three. I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't even try to put them in order, but it's just really like cost of living. So we'll say that cost of living, weather, and then women. Just
Okay.
yeah, those are all great. And like you said, very
All right.
modern. I mean, Colombia or Medellin was voted the most innovative city in the world like 3 or 4 years ago. You got the Metro Cable, you got the Metro Rail. I take the subway from time to time here in New York. It's horrible. It's filthy. The Metro in Medellin, if you've been in Medellin, you've been on the Metro, any station you get off, there's always like one or two old ladies mopping and sweeping the floor to keep the humidity off. It's just, it's really nice, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's not third world like some people would want you to believe. It's the shopping malls, A1.
Yeah. Yeah. They do a lot when it comes to the malls and just the buildings. I mean, you see some tall skyscrapers,
Hmm.
and I mean it's a very modern city. Internet is good. You don't have blackouts and stuff like that. Like when I went to Thailand, that was one of my real bad, like real things that was bugging me is the fact that power was going out. It went out like three times. We were there for 10 days. It went out three times,
Wow.
and it's just like things like that. Whew, it's just frustrating. The last day that I was there, the power was out for the whole night and into the next morning, and then I had to catch a flight, but yeah, it's just things like that. Really, you really appreciate it when you go
Yeah.
to a country and you don't have all that, have all those issues and things like that. So
Yeah, that's horrible. I remember Andre said he experienced one blackout in Cali, but it only lasted for maybe like 4 or 5 minutes, and then whether it was a generator or backup came on. I think maybe Deshaun, maybe they were like we brought it up in a WhatsApp group. Like there was a couple of people that experienced outages. I've never experienced an outage in Medellin, and when I say
mm,
I've been there, with it was coming down like sheets of rain, thunderstorms, lightning everywhere. I've never experienced it in Medellin, a blackout. So
yeah,
the
and
infrastructure is good.
yeah, and you have same thing happens in the U.S. We'll have blackouts every once in a while, but I mean, when you're in Thailand, you have it, and you're there for 10 days, and you have it three times in that 10-day period, as well as like, and so they do have backup generators, but those backup generators, you can't get AC and stuff like that. So we were out there in Thailand, right by the beach. It was hot and no power, so you just had to open up all the windows and just get by that way. All right, let's see. Got another question, Ed. What's the best time of year to visit Colombia if it's the first time going? So what would you say the best time is to go to Colombia?
100%. Write it down right now. December.
Hmm.
December. Now you're gonna have to book that flight in like April or May because it is Navidad. The price is gonna go through the roof. You're gonna easily pay just travel Avianca to get there and back from the U.S. 900, maybe 1,000, maybe 1,100. You got to book it early, but December is dry season. No, November is rainy season. November it rains a lot. I swear it's like December 3rd, it just stops. It's sunny. They put the alumbrados, which is like the Christmas lights everywhere along the Rio, along the highway. Most people, most women, most jobs in Colombia, if you're outside of like nursing and something like that, where you're gonna have vacation in December. And I went one time in December, and that was for Navidad, for Christmas of 2014, coming into 2015. My best trip by far. Best trip. Man, we went to some concerts. They were cooking like sancocho in the street. December by far, man. There's fireworks that they're letting globals go. December is the best time to go to Medellin. Best time to go to Colombia, period. If you can do it, you want to go like December 20th to like January 5th. That way you're there for Navidad and El Año Nuevo, New Year's Day.
Cool. All right, so John has a question, and this one's right down your alley since you just got a bank account there. Any banks in the U.S. that have good ties with any Colombian banks?
All right, so I opened an account in April. I opened an account with BBVA. That's BBVA. It's a Spanish bank from Spain. I attempted to open a bank account with Bancolombia, which is a Colombian bank. As being a non-Colombian, I needed to have lived there or worked there. There were too many restrictions, and that's just because right now, La Banco de la República, the Bank of the Republic of Colombia, they want to know where outside money is coming from. This, of course, stems from the history, the not so good history of Colombia, where a lot of drug guys, they try to watch their money by buying properties. They bought 10-unit apartment buildings, houses here, houses there, fincas here, fincas there. Long story short, I wasn't able to open a bank account with a Colombian bank. I was able to open a bank account with just my passport and my driver's license, 2 forms of ID, with BBVA. It's a Spanish bank. I was not able to open a checking account. I was able to open a savings account. I opened it April 1st. I have now begun to fund that savings account with dollars. I have about 5,000 or 15 millones de pesos, and that will be going towards my apartment. Now, there are other Colombian banks. There's Banco Avivillas. There's Da Vivienda. I did not try to open bank accounts with those banks. The reason I did it with Bancolombia is because my connection in Colombia, my homegirl Lena, she knew someone that worked for Bancolombia, and we thought she was going to make it happen, and she just wasn't able to.
Okay, cool. So we got George in the building, Sugar Skull Gaming.
Sugar Skull.
Yeah, those are transported patients from the airport that were flown in from international vacations. Wow, yeah. So he's a paramedic, so he's taking people from the airport to the hospital. Yeah, get that insurance if you know it's worth it. It's $45. I mean, and like I say, a lot of people, the first thing they think about when they travel to other countries is, oh, I need to get a SIM card. I need to get a SIM card. That's the only thing they're thinking about. But from now on, I'm getting insurance every time that I go. So have something in place.
Yeah, I will going forward as well.
Yeah, if you can't get the insurance, and go with using a credit card that will allow you to get at least some type of insurance, just a little something. Especially that evacuation stuff, because you never know what's going to happen in another country. So you don't want to be in a situation where you can't even leave a country. Another thing too, when it comes to, and this is something else that I just signed up for this, there are a lot of different programs that the government offers, which for travelers, which you might not know about because if you don't do any research on it. And if you go on, it's travel.state.gov website, and I talked about this in the video that I put out today. You can see kind of they'll give you information on where to travel, where not to travel, or where to use some caution when you travel to, or where not to go at all. Like if you type in Venezuela on the government website, it's going to tell you that it's not safe to travel there. If you type in Colombia in certain areas, it will tell you that it's just use caution, basically is what it's saying. It doesn't say don't go there. It just says use caution, which you should be using caution anyway. I don't care where you go. So it just kind of gives you an idea of maybe some of the hot spots, if there are any hot spots in the country. And they also have this program. It's called a STEP program, where you can sign up. You just sign up as like a profile. So you'll have like a profile. And when you leave the country, when you're going to, or when you're leaving the U.S. and going to to another country, you just kind of sign in. So you just tell them I will be in Colombia from this period to that period, and they'll know. So the embassy in that country, or the U.S. embassy in that country, will know that you're there. So if anything goes down, you have civil unrest, you have something that's where they need to evacuate you out of there, or at least come looking for you, they will have that information that you are there, and this is where you're staying and all that. So just gives them a little more information. All right, so he's got it. Smart Traveler.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'd never used that before. I will be using it from now on. And there are a lot of different little government programs and stuff that will help you when you travel. Yeah. Do you have any more input on that? I see you have the link. So have you used it before?
I've used the Smart Traveler app just to see what the ratings are, because I think it goes from like 1 to 4 or something like that. I think you just kind of mentioned, and like 2 would be like use caution, 3 would be like something else, 4 would be like avoid at all costs. Whether because like the U.S., we don't have any diplomatic ties or anything like that. And I believe, I think I was checking it a couple of days ago. Colombia might have been at it too, like use caution or something like that, just because I think there were like some stuff going on in Medellin with the universities, these people saying they're students and they were kind of like protesting and things like that. Rises in like bus fare or something like that. But yeah, I haven't used the step thing because I've been reluctant, but I've hit the step thing and looked into it. But pretty much what you're kind of doing is you're telling the local consulate embassy, hey, I'm in country. So I guess if something does happen, they know you're there, and I guess that's always a good idea. Even before that program came out, they always said like when you were in a new country or a foreign country, you should kind of just let the consulate or the embassy know, hey, I'm in town. That way they have you on some kind of a record. I guess they're not checking manifests or things like that. But yeah, I've used it just to kind of like look to see like what the State Department and how they're rating countries. But I haven't really done like the STEP program. No, I haven't like registered.
Yeah, I just registered, but obviously I'm not traveling out of the country until October. So when I do, prior to me traveling, I will just let them know. And I know some people are kind of skeptical about, I don't want the government knowing what I'm doing or where I'm going. But I mean,
they know about your passport.
Yeah,
If the State Department if they want to
know.
see where you're at, they can do it. So you might as well do the STEP thing and say, hey, I'm in Colombia and I came in through the port of Bogota or Medellin or whatever. And then that way, if there's some really like crazy crisis in Medellin, they could probably even contact you through the app and say, hey, we're arranging transportation for you to get out of here, get to the airport by this date. And you otherwise would not have that info. So
they can get to you a lot faster. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the way that I look at it. So, or if there's something that goes wrong, or I mean, you can get lost or what have you, and they know that you're there. And so, let's say you miss your flight. Well, oh, you missed this flight. I wonder why you missed this flight. And then they can look into it and contact you. And they do have like your phone number information, stuff like that you can put in if you want to do that. Okay. All right. We're gonna skip down because we're running a little late on time, so I want to get through all the questions here. So I might miss a few. I apologize if I do. Let's see. And
Uh,
Jason, yeah, if you see anything you want
yeah, real quick, Andre's asked me where I got this jersey from. This was a gift from mine
to.
from a he was a professional soccer player. Like he gave me this jersey out of his trunk of his car. But
Wow.
this is when he was playing with the sub-20, so that means under 20-year-old. So that he was like a teenager when he's playing for Colombia. I'm not sure exactly where he's playing today, even if he's still playing in Colombia. But he was like on like that development team, the under 20-year-old team. Yeah, he gave me this video. He gave me this jersey maybe like 5 or 6 years ago.
Cool,
And
cool.
that's why like it has a number. None of the other jerseys have a number, and it has his name on the back. But that's because it's his actual jersey, and it has like his name and stuff on the back. But yeah.
Cool. How many jerseys do you have?
Oh man. Well, Nacional, I probably have like I'm just gonna throw out and say like 10, 11, just because I buy them every time I go. The actual Colombia jerseys for the country, I maybe have this one, the Copa America, 2 goalie ones. I have like 6.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't even see that Andre was in here. Let me
Yeah, they're in here. Andre and Andrea.
give him a little plug. So why don't you do the plug, Jason? I'm gonna pull up his link real
Yeah, pull
quick.
it up. Yeah, so basically Andre and Andrea, they're living my dream right now. Andre, um, he's from here from the US. He was out of Florida. Correct me, Andre, if I'm wrong about anything. But yeah, he met Andrea, his fiance. There, she's from Cali, Colombia, and Andre has recently moved to Cali. He was there um, for a long bit of time. They got an apartment now. They got a channel on YouTube, Love Crossing Borders, and they're explaining situations that you may get into with being in an interracial relationship. You know, Andre's from here, Andrea's from Colombia, and it's a great channel, man. And I guess if you are an American or Colombian, vice versa, and you want to do this whole interracial thing, great channel to follow, man. A lot of information, a lot of stuff to what to look out for. And they're kind of going through the minefield. And when they have their little hiccups, they're talking about it. They're very open about it. They're very transparent about it. And it's just going to help someone like me in the future. But yeah, man, Andre, man, he sold his car, his house, everything he had here in Florida. He was out there with Andrea for a few months. And, now he's back here for a short bit of time, and he's going to be going back. And, God willing, when next time I'm out there, I'm going to like link up with them. But great channel, man. And then Andrea, great girl, English 100. Her English is very great, and she's very transparent. She knows a lot of the game. She knows what's up, man. Like Andre's got a good one with her, man. And I can't thank them enough for their knowledge. And it's definitely a channel you want to check out if you're involved, if you're interested in interracial dating and just getting to know both sides of it.
Yeah, you actually you gotta make it, give him some drama. So you gotta say, yeah, they got in a fight and he moved back to the US and they're trying to figure things out. So you gotta tune in to see what happens.
Right, that's how TLC. That's how they do it. That's how they do it.
Exactly. You need that cliffhanger. So now he's back in the US. He's trying to figure things out. So maybe he'll be going back and they're gonna try to work things out. So
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Maybe he'll go back. Maybe he won't.
Yeah, actually, Andre should have played it like that. Yeah, you know what? I'm done with this, and just left. And then, all right. No, I don't wish any bad on them. No, it's a great couple, man. But yeah, they put out a lot of good information. So if you are, especially if you're interested in going to Colombia, or you interested in meeting a Colombian woman, you can get a lot of insight. And from the female perspective too, that's a good thing too, because yeah, we can sit up here and talk just like someone had a question earlier about Colombian women. Do they, like older men and all that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they feel.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing I definitely respect about their channel and Andrea as a person. She's very real. She's very open. She won't sugarcoat it. She'll tell you if you're being a Western Union poppy. She'll tell you if you're being taken advantage of. She'll tell you what to look out for. She's very genuine. She's very open, and I respect that so much. I mean, like,
Yeah.
coming from a Colombiana, like that her word is gospel. Like, and if you're not following her, listening to what she's saying, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we have another question. Yamil. So he's saying, actually doesn't have a question. This is a statement. So I've been going to Medellin for the past 8 years. I never used Tinder or Colombian Cupid. If you're single guy, just have a Facebook for Colombian women. That's all you need. And I've used Facebook before, and it's okay. It works. It's a little hard. I don't know. It's a little harder to search on Facebook for like what you want. You type in Colombian women and you get all these tours like the marry me, whatever, the marriage arrangement things. But there are some good things on Facebook. Like you can get in some of the Facebook groups. The expat groups are really good. I know it's expats, but you can still get in there. You can get information about places to go and hang out and stuff like that, and meet women. You can even pose it to the group, the expat group, and they'll tell you, hey, yeah, you know what, this is a good place. This is a good place. Real estate, that's another. Believe it or not, you get on the real estate groups on Facebook, and you'll have just a lot of people that are, buying and selling real estate or staying at, because realtors, I believe it's this way, realtors are involved in like long-term rentals and stuff like that as well out there. So there's just, you can just get in that community. So anything you could find, Facebook group that has a community base, you can get in there and you can talk with different people. And some of the realtors are very attractive, so you might want to hook
Yeah,
up with them. Just talk offline, I guess. But yeah, just stuff like that. It can work, and it's free, so you don't have to pay a fee or anything like that. And you can kind of get a feel for them, at least more information about them if you're on Facebook already. And let's say you send them a friend request and you guys become friends, where you can have a lot more information than on a Colombian Cupid or on a Tinder. So yeah, I could see where that would work. Okay. Andrea and Andrea, so they have a salsa festival, looks like, in Cali in December. So that's cool. Let's see, Deshaun, Cartagena, and Santa Marta will have outages at least once a week for 20 to 60 minutes. Yeah, see, I just don't want to have to deal with that. Yeah. Cartagena now, or they did have one. When I was in Cartagena, they had one outage, and it was like it was all day. Yeah, it
wow.
was all day. That was once. I've been to Cartagena 3 times, but it's only one time where they had that. They had a power outage. Okay, which is, like I said, which is fine. Just if you have 3 in a matter of 10 days, yeah, I think that's too much.
Yeah,
If you
that's a
have
little bit.
one while I'm there, even if you have it for 20 to 60 minutes once a week, that's still, I could deal with that. But my experience in Thailand was just a little bit different. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. MG Toe. All right, we're gonna be wrapping it up because it's getting a little late. I know it's getting real late for you over there, Jason. So let's see. Have either of you ever been in any dangerous situations with a woman you met online? At one point, did you feel safe? I haven't had any situations like that. Not in Colombia, no. Yeah, I've never been robbed or anything. Have you? Have you ever had an experience like that and meeting a girl in
Uh,
Colombia, like online?
Dangerous situation with when you've been online. At what point do you feel safe to bring them back to? No. For the most part, I've if you can real quick share my screen. Um,
Mhm.
I've been on Columbia Cupid since 2009, and I usually have a good rapport with women before I get out there. So maybe I'm not on it. Hold up.
Yeah, you're on. Just
Oh,
Go to
oh,
whatever.
oh, is it now? You see it?
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay, so you see, my historic membership was
Mhm.
August of 2009. I've been on Colombia Cuba. Right now, I'm still active right now up until August of this year. Um,
Okay.
I haven't had any issues. I've I've overdrank. I've had a really good time. Um, I just over the years, as you can imagine, from 2003, my first time in Colombia, and then 2009, this is my first time signing up for Colombian Cupid. Um, just kind of like live and learn. I've kind of just learned what things to look out for, red flags. I haven't really picked anyone that I didn't feel comfortable not only taking back to my house, but falling asleep next to them. So I've been fine. Um, yeah, you got to be careful. You just can't take anybody. You just can't do that.
Yeah, I haven't had any crazy experiences, um, like meeting someone and then having something go down. You don't want to show all that, do you?
Yeah, no, no, no. I'm trying to get back.
Okay, let
Yeah,
me get that out.
stop it, stop it.
You got the WhatsApp group. Was that the WhatsApp group or is that
Yeah,
something else?
no. I think that was just my WhatsApp inbox in general, which I didn't want to show that
Okay.
either.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let me get back here.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's move forward here. Let's see. Anything else, guys? Thanks, Jason, David. All right. Anytime, Andre and Andrea. And he's laughing at us. We're probably talking about the drama. Let's see. Okay, thanks for the information, guys. Love the Jason interviews. Jason, we're waiting for the channel. All right, this is a good segue. Thank you, Andre. So Jason will be starting the channel soon, right?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, yeah.
I will. I will.
So what I want you guys to do is let me pull your thing up here. If you guys are in here right now, hit the like button so we can bring a few more people in right before we leave. But I want to bring up his. So if I just put Paisa Gringo, it should come up.
Yeah, I should.
Let's see.
Andrea, thank you guys. Love crossing borders. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Uh, I need to spell Paisa Gringo right.
Yeah. I actually on this web on here in the thing. For some reason I added like an extra N in Paisa Gringo. You entered it correctly under my picture, but I entered it with two N's, so it should only be one N. I don't know if that's throwing you off.
Where is it? I put how? What did I put? I
No,
don't see
you
it on here. Oh, you got that video with Drees in it. Oh, you know what? It doesn't just show the channel.
no.
No, I'm gonna see if I can pull up just the channel.
Okay.
Just type channel in there, I guess. Yeah, it just shows all the videos that you were in. Yeah, it doesn't just show your. I don't know how to pull it up.
Interesting. Okay, let me go to my account.
Yeah, it won't show you. It won't show just your channel.
Okay, I guess if you could show my
Yeah, if you
page
go to
now.
your if you go to your homepage and just open up the where it says your channel, and then just click that link and then copy that link and put that link in the chat. And then if it won't let you, then I'll open it up. All right, guys. Please hit the like button so we can bring more people in. And if you guys are new here, please subscribe to the channel. And I know I keep saying this over and over. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I want you guys to know whenever I put out stuff. And so if you subscribe to the channel, you hit the little bell notification. Anytime I put out a live video, it's going to notify you. And then anytime I put out just a regular video, it'll notify you as well. And we'll be on here every week, Monday and Saturday. And we'll just talk about Saturday is generally travel credit cards. So if you are interested in learning more about travel credit cards and how you can use those cards to travel for free, then join the Saturday show, and then on Monday we just talk about travel. And I like Colombia a lot, and Jason likes it a lot, and there are a
I
lot of
love
people
Colombia.
who love going to Colombia. So that's what we're talking about generally. We'll talk about Colombia. So if you guys have questions, or if you're going to be traveling there soon, then jump in. We'll also have other people on here as well, just to talk about their experiences with Colombia. And I'm hoping Jason can kind of do this be a thing. We can do it every once in a while. I don't want to, I don't want to, what's the question? What's the word? If Jason wants to come on every Monday, he can come on every Monday. Let's put it that way. So the invitation is always open.
Yeah, I'm definitely down.
But I keep pushing him to have a channel, because I want him to get a channel going. Are you able to put it up or no?
I am. Okay, right. So I typed it into the search thing, and yeah, the thing with Dries. I don't know how to find, I guess, what my URL is or whatever.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get that situated. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I want you guys to jump over to his channel and start subscribing to his channel. He doesn't have any videos yet, but he's going to start doing videos. And at the very least, he can at least put the videos that he's already done. So he's done videos with me. He's done videos with Dries. And so he can put those videos up, so you guys can at least see those for now.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see if this works. Okay, let me go into the YouTube to your video.
Yeah, let's see. All right, Sugar Skull, Jason's channel. So did you put a link in there?
No, I'm gonna do it right now. It's loading. I don't even know if this is gonna work if I copied the right thing.
Yeah, just put it in there. We'll click on it once and see if it opens.
No, but I don't think that's it.
Did you click on it?
Yeah, it's in the chat. Oh yeah, it looks like it took me to my thing.
Yeah.
I got
All
one.
right, guys, hit that link.
I got one subscriber.
Yeah, so let's get them at least to 10 subscribers. We got enough people in here. We got 20 people in here. So we should have 20 subscribers. And then he's going to start putting out some videos and doing some live streams. And then hopefully he'll have me as a guest on his live streams.
Yeah, absolutely will.
We can do that as well. But definitely, man, I want to promote Jason. I think he's got a lot of knowledge. And I know, like, you guys are on here. He's got answers to pretty much anything when it comes to Colombia. He's been there so long, and he spent a lot of time.
Yeah, I put in for vacation Thursday. Hopefully my boss will approve it tomorrow, and I will be buying my flight for October tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm 106 days out. That's what we are, David. If you don't, I'm counting.
I haven't been counting, but that sounds good. Let's see. Sugar Skull got a couple of things here. Let's see.
Yo, George, thank you. Andrea, thank you. Clifton, thank you.
Make sure you like the videos and playlists on private. Make sure you have your liked videos and playlists on private. Okay.
I have to look into that.
He's saying that. He's saying that to you? I don't know. Let's see. Oh. Let me say it was me. It's whatever. Whatever, George. Okay. He's just trying to take credit. All right, Andre just subbed. Who else subbed? All right, let's get everybody subbing here. Clifton subbed. Marshawn, he subbed. All right, we're moving up. We're moving up, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Before you know it.
Yeah, so the plan. The plan. Yeah, I got no videos up. The plan is when I meet up with David in Medellin in October, we're gonna have a face-to-face. We're gonna talk about hardware, equipment that I need to buy. I'll come back to the US. I'll buy that camera stuff. Maybe like some little set props, like he has a subscribe sign and the Colombia plate. And I plan to launch around Christmas or New Year's of 2020. And based on the advice of David, because I don't have a lot of time to do editing and things like that, maybe like what David does, I'll just do live streams. I'll do a live stream once a week, Q&A. People can ask me questions. But at that time, my bank account should be fully unrestricted, and I can have more answers about opening bank accounts in Colombia, traveling, Airbnbs, taxis, drivers, car services. And with the guidance of David, that's what I hope to do. I'll just start up doing live streams because there's no editing involved. I just answer some questions for an hour or so, and they'll stay up there.
Yeah. And then another thing too, that Jason is bringing to the table with the channel, and this is what I'm telling him. Yeah, this is going to be great because there's no channel out there that I can think of that's doing this, but he's going to be buying property out there, so he can start the channel when he didn't have, when he's saving his money, he's putting his money in the bank account and all that, to the point where he gets to buy a property in Colombia. So you guys can follow him on that journey. So I just think it's great. It'll be a great thing for him. And so, yeah, I'm really encouraging him to do that. And I think he's there. He's there. He'll be starting it. But yeah, I just think you have a lot to offer when it comes to Colombia. That's for sure. All right. So we got HD Chillin subscribed. We got Deshaun. He subbed.
We got some subscribers.
So, yeah, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna have 1,000 subscribers before you get started. All right, MG tells says we had a great live stream. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys stopping by, and hope we were able to answer the majority of your questions. Let's see, what do we have? Jason needs to get a PayPal set up. Yeah, you got to get PayPal set up.
I have one. I just don't know. Like, I have an account. I just, once again, like, I wouldn't even know how to like show the link. Like, I have a PayPal account.
Yeah, I have PayPal too, but I never. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm content. I don't like PayPal. I don't need like donations or anything like that. It's always nice when you get a super chat, but it's just, I do this because I enjoy doing it. I'm not doing it for the money aspect.
That's exactly why I would want to do it. I think it would just be something I would enjoy to do on a bi-weekly basis, maybe like 2 days a week to start out with. And then, yeah, if subscribers wanted more, I'm passionate about it. And this is why you call me, even at the last minute, Jay, you want to come on? I want to do a live stream. Yeah, I'm going to Hawaii in a few days, but I just want to do a live stream about Colombia. Yeah, I love talking about Colombia. Let's do it. Like, and a lot of the viewers may not understand. It's 7:00 on California where you're at right now. I'm in New York. It's 12:30.
Bedtime.
Bedtime. I'm ready to go for another hour, man. Like,
nah. Yeah, but I gotta respect your time, man. And
I
like
got
I said, I appreciate you coming on and helping out.
Of course. Whenever you want me.
Yeah, this last little comment here. And I just want to address this. So Clifton was just saying that, David, you should do a video on your setup there, high quality compared to 99% of YouTubers. And I really appreciate that. And what I'm doing is I'm having another channel. So I will be starting another channel very soon. I will probably actually launch it next week because I'll be in Hawaii. But I have another channel. It's going to be specifically about my camera equipment, how to make YouTube videos, like the video aspect. So how to shoot it, how to light it, all that good stuff, and how to edit videos. So just kind of preparing you for that whole YouTube experience, or just video experience as a whole, because YouTube is what's here now. It's what's hot now, but you're going to have some other platforms that are going to jump out, and people are going to want to, people are moving to video. It used to be like everything was photo based, like Facebook was, or we can go back further, MySpace, it was all about photos, Facebook, all about photos. And then Facebook started to graduate into video. Now they're doing more video, and YouTube has been around with the video platform. So video is becoming more and more popular, and it's the way that people can express themselves now on video. Anyone can get up and do a live stream. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. And so it really changes the game, as far as people were used to just watching TV and we can only watch the programming that was available to us. But now anyone can get in front of a camera and shoot video. So yeah, I will be having another channel, and I'll let you guys know so you guys can jump over to that channel and subscribe. Actually, I can tell you right now. What am I now? Let's get some more subs right before we leave. Let me just find this real quick. Okay. So the other channel the name. Let's see. Let me. I haven't even checked to see if it would come up. So, anything else you want to talk about, Jason? While I'm pulling this up. The
No, I think we're pretty good. I was going through like a lot of the questions. MG Told Mentor, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Andre, thank you, man. Always. Everyone that just subscribed. Yeah, David's been trying to. I'm not like I'm not a YouTuber, and I just happened to be in Medellin when Ace was there doing a review of an Airbnb, and he invited me to come be behind the scenes and see how the sausage is made. And I saw what work he put in through him, take after take after take. And then finally, like somehow after like the second hour, he's like, you know what, Jason, I want to put you in front of the camera. And that was the first time I was on a YouTube video. But David's always kind of like pushing me, saying, "Hey, you got a lot of information people want," and I didn't get it, I didn't understand it, I didn't believe it. But doing these live streams with him, and you guys do have questions, and I've lived and continue to live that life out there in Medellin, and if I can be a help, yeah, I think this could be something that I'd be interested in, and I definitely appreciate David for all his guidance. And support with this. So I just want to thank him for having me on again. And I want to thank you for tuning in and listening and asking the questions that you had.
All right. I'm almost there. Let's see. I can't even find mine. I mean, I found it, but I had to pull it up a different way. Hopefully this works. Are there any other questions in the chat? Let's see, Jason, okay, here we go. We got a question here. We'll show that one real quick. Jason, your personality fits you as far as making videos. You're the Colombian OG dude.
Yeah,
the Colombian OG dude.
And Bongo Poppy, man, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It wasn't an easy road, and it was a long road, man. I had a lot of ups and downs, man. The Colombian Cupid, I fell for a lot of okie dokes. That's a whole nother story, which we can and will talk about. I've gotten a lot wiser. You gotta kind of put this little chill around your heart, because if not, you'll get eaten alive, man. But yeah, it's Colombia's a beautiful country. It's a beautiful place filled with beautiful people, and if you're honest about yourself and what you're looking for, I think you could really set yourself up, man. Especially the way the dollar's going right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I put the link here to the channel. It's Creator Visuals.
Okay.
And this is a channel that will be that I'll be launching next week. And that's what I'm just going to start talking about, camera equipment and stuff like that. For those of you who don't know, I am I'm a professional photographer. Like I do that on the side. I have a regular job, full-time job. And then on the side, I shoot weddings, I shoot events. So I've been doing that for about 10 years now. And I love photography. And that's what actually got me into traveling more, because it's funny, but I started out as a photographer, doing taking landscape pictures, which I really love doing. That's what I started doing. And you have this little, and I live about 20 minutes from the beach. I go out to the beach, I take some pictures of the sunset, and then that circle just kept increasing, because you can only take pictures. I can only go to the beach so many times, and I want to go somewhere else. And that it just kept expanding until it got to the point where it's like, I need to leave the country. Like I've taken a lot of pictures in the US. Well, I say on the West Coast, and I want more. And so that's when I started traveling, or that's when I started thinking I needed to travel. And that's what got me into travel credit cards. And that's what got me into wanting to keep going back to Colombia, because the first time I went to Colombia, I took some pictures. And the thing with photography is when when I first started, that's when I went to Colombia. So the pictures that I took they weren't very good in my eyes now. And so as you progress, you say, oh, I got to go back. I want to take more, better pictures. And then you go back and you just keep going back. And Anyway, yeah. So that's it. Creator Visuals. That's what I'll be launching. So if you guys are interested, please right now, if you guys can just go by and sub. Looks like we got a few people that have already done that.
Yeah, I just saw.
Deshaun was the first one in the room. I heard the first subscriber. See, I'll always remember that, Deshaun. You were my first subscriber. So yeah, if you guys just go over there, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be putting out content there. And if you guys are interested, like if you guys ever, anybody in the chat, if you guys have questions about photography stuff, or you want to start a YouTube channel, you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, hit me up. You can hit me up here. I don't really know how Facebook or YouTube works when it comes to like hitting me up, but you definitely on like Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, it's Travel Explore Click. You can hit me there in the messenger if you have questions or anything like that, and I'll be more than happy to lead you in the right direction if I know the answer. But yeah, all right, man. I think we had a good show.
Yeah, I got one quick question for you. I just want to know your opinion. How do you feel about plane spotting? How do you feel about going to LAX, taking pictures of planes taking off, landing? Is that not really your thing?
No, that's not my thing.
Okay,
no.
okay.
Is that something you're interested in doing?
No. I was that's not my thing either. I was just curious. Just wondering.
Yeah, there's some good spots to take pictures. I mean, because there's a parking lot C at LAX. It's the long-term parking, and if they change the flight paths, but if the flight path is landing and their planes are coming in from that area, that section, the planes literally they fly right over the top of you. Wow. So if you ever want to do that plane spotting, you can do that. But yeah, I'm not really into that. The photography that I like the most is landscape photography, but I like to go like to different countries and take pictures. I like to go to places where you don't know really where the picture was taken.
Gotcha.
My most popular photo that I've ever taken, and this photo, Google, what was it? Google Plus. It's no longer, but Google Plus used to be a thing. It was going to compete with Facebook. But anyway, back when Google Plus was, I won't say was when it was popular, but when it was still around, I posted this picture. It was in Kauai. So I'm going there this next week. I took a picture underneath a pier, and it was Hanalei Pier. And the pier is it doesn't look that nice from the top, but if you get underneath it, it's got these nice little kind of leading lines down. It's a nice photo. Anyway, that photo at the time when Google Plus was out, it would show you how many people had viewed that photo. And at one point, and this was 3 years ago, it was at 1 billion views.
Wow.
I kid you not. It was 1 billion views. And what happened is, prior to getting to that point, Google reached out to me, and I didn't know that they do this, but like people, and you still have like the Google Chrome, the little Google Chrome stick, the little.
Oh, right.
The thing that you plug in your TV. What is it called? Chromecast or Chrome?
Yeah, Chromecast, I believe it is.
Okay, so that little thing. So if you notice, like, if you're not using it, it'll show you that screensaver, and it'll show you different pictures and stuff. So Google reached out to me, and they said, "Hey, we want to feature your picture on Google," and so my picture was being featured on Google
on like the equivalent of the Amazon Fire Stick, right?
On the
screensaver.
So you just put it in there, and it was one of the screensavers.
That's a big deal.
So and it was funny because I would get because I told people on Facebook, so I'd get like people, my friends on Facebook, they'd see it and they take a picture of it and they send it to me, showing me that they're at home and they're able to see it. So yeah, it was a funny deal, but yeah. So I don't even know where I was going with that.
No, that's a big deal, brother.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with it, but yeah. So that was one of my highlights. But anyway, that really sparked me at that point when that picture took off and it hit 1 billion views, and then after that, Google Plus stopped. They stopped. Well, they're not even here anymore, but they stopped counting the views for whatever reason. But and so I don't know how many views it ever like reached, but I'm telling you, I was getting contacted from people all over the world wanting to buy a print. And so I started selling prints, but like out of the country, I didn't know how to do that. So I only sold one print out of the country. This guy asked me, he was in London. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to try to do it. And so I just did my little research and sent it out to him. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. I was trying to see if I can pull the picture up right before we leave, because I don't like talking about things and you're like, well, what is it? Whatever, I want to see the picture. Let's see. Okay. This is taken. All right. You know what? I might have even put it in a WhatsApp group. No, I didn't actually. So it was all the Colombia pictures that I put up there. All right, I'll show it on another day. I don't want to this is taking forever to load. But yeah, I'll save that story for another day. We'll show you guys that some other day. But anyway, yeah, jump on into Paisa Gringo's channel. Click the link. Even if you're offline, so we're doing it live now, but people will be watching this video after that. If you guys see the video, please jump on over to his channel, subscribe to his channel. He's going to be putting out some content very soon. And then as well as Creator Visuals, the little link that I put there, jump over there and I'll be putting out videos starting with probably the Osmo Action and some of the cameras I have, Osmo Pocket, just showing you some footage and how to use those cameras. And they're good now. We're lucky in a sense that you have some real small cameras that can do things that are amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been in photography for 10 years, and this little Osmo Pocket, and we were talking about this today. This little Osmo Pocket can do things that $10,000 rigs couldn't do back in the day.
Wow.
So I'm just with the time lapse and being able to do motion time lapse and just be stabilized. Yeah, it's amazing. All right, I could talk forever about this, so we're gonna have to get off here. Let's see, Clifton, is the WhatsApp group closed? Is the WhatsApp group closed in secret? No, Clifton, you can check it out. All you need to do is go over to Ace. This is Ace Live. So if you go to This is Ace Live, or unless are you talking about are you talking about the Jason's WhatsApp, that little flash that he showed you guys? But if you want to join the group, the WhatsApp group, This is Ace Live, go over to his channel, and in his description, you should be able to find the WhatsApp group there. Okay. All right, Jason, I appreciate you helping me out, and you are always welcome on the channel. And I think that's it. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm good, brother, man. I just want to say thank you for having me on. Thank you for the invite. I'm always willing and able, regardless of the time, to kind of just help promote the things that we're interested in. Yeah, I want to thank you for everyone that just kind of like, I guess I would say pre-subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's no content there, but I will do my due diligence to get some content there on the YouTube front ASAP. But as well on Instagram, you can find me as well at Paisa Gringo. Same thing on Instagram. There, I'll have more content a lot faster. I'm putting stuff up there more regularly, but the YouTube stuff will be coming. And once again, with the guidance and the advice of David, it would be more kind of like live stream Q&A content, kind of like what we did here tonight.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Let's see. Oh, he's just saying $25 to get in the group. I always see these little things flash, and I saw Andre, so I didn't want to miss his question. But he was just making a comment. So it's just $25 to get in the
Colombia group. Right.
Colombia
Now,
group, yeah.
The Asian one I think it's 10, he said.
Yeah, I think it is 10, so it's a little less.
The Colombia one, well worth it. There's so much information.
Yeah. There's information. There's good. It's just so much. I mean, it's a blast. I'm not gonna lie to you, and we've been in this group since what, February or even more, even earlier.
Earlier, yeah.
Every day, I'm looking at that group and going through the feed, and I know Jason's doing the same.
Right, we're all
So
on the East Coast, so like it's always you because you're on the West Coast.
yeah,
You're usually coming in like noon on the East Coast, where it's like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and you're like, all right, I got 300 messages to get through.
yeah, but I
'Cause-
do it.
yeah, he
I
does
get
it.
through 'em. Yeah,
He-
because you want to know what's going on. I don't know. It's yeah, you want
oh,
to be in the know. It reminds me of back when Facebook was first, when it was a big thing and
yeah.
everyone was always on Facebook and you wanted to know what everybody was doing. This WhatsApp group is the same way where I'm always on there. I'm always wanting to know, like, hey, what's going on? And it'll start buzzing and I want to see, okay, what does
So
so-and-so
so am
say?
I. Yeah, and it's almost regardless of how busy I am at work. I mean, at some point we're talking about cryptocurrency, then we're talking about real estate, and then we're talking about Airbnbs, and then someone asked like, "Do you have a driver in Medellin?" And
Mm.
I mean, it's well worth it. I mean,
Yeah, and you always there's always someone there in Colombia, so they're giving you they're giving you info from the ground, and yeah, it's
that's the best.
it,
That's 100%. That's the best part because there's 80 people in this group, and there's always someone in Colombia, someone always about to go, and someone that just
mm,
got back. And if you just have friends or family that kind of like nitpick you, like, are you sure you want to go there? It's a third world country. Are you sure you want to? You constantly have someone who's on the ground, like David said, live, and then you're just kind of living through them until it's your turn again to go back. And like we were talking about, Ace did a video with Binky's barbecue in Guatapé. Apparently now that's closed.
yeah, what's up with that?
So
That's what I heard.
apparently that's closed now. And like Andre was just there like a month ago or 2 months, and apparently like the landlord like sold the building, so now Binky's trying to open a new spot somewhere else. But what I'm saying is when you constantly have someone there, you constantly getting good information, and that goes a long way as well. But it also kind of just motivates you. Like I was watching the Colombia Argentina game the other day here in the house, and I think Jamal or someone else was in the Parque Jettas, and it was looked absolutely crazy. It was just a
Yeah,
flood
that's
of
right. Yeah,
people. So it kind of just keeps you motivated until it's your turn to go back. WhatsApp
yeah,
group is
definitely.
amazing.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna show. I found the picture here,
Oh, let's see it.
so I will share right before we go here. Hopefully this comes out good.
Oh
All right, so
wow.
that
Oh
is the picture. So that's the one that got 1 billion views. So basically,
wow.
what I did, and it's funny because this is like concrete, but it's like that color. And I went to I went underneath the underneath this concrete pier and just took that picture, and it turned out really well. And I entered it in a photo competition, and uh, I got recognized for it. I didn't win like the top prize for it, but it was an award winner. Just didn't win number one. But yeah, and that's the one. Google hit me up and they said, "Hey, yeah, we want to showcase that on
The
our channel,
Chromecast.
on our
Yeah,
the Chromecast thing." So I'm like, oh, all right, that's cool.
that's
But
dope.
yeah, but that's what sparked me. Once I took that picture, and I'd already been shooting for a while. Like this was I took this picture maybe 3-4 years ago. Maybe it was 4 years ago. But that's what sparked me to where I was like, oh, I got to do more of it. Like this, I want to do more shots like this where I take a picture. You have no idea where this picture is. Like it just doesn't look like anything that anyone could put their foot on. Colombia has a lot of this, and that's what I
Yeah,
like about Colombia. They have a lot of undiscovered locations. In Kauai, you would think Kauai, yeah, we all know. A lot of us know Hawaii. You would never know that this was taken in Hawaii. If you didn't know this actual pier and you hadn't been to this place before. And what I really like, and this is actually real, I didn't Photoshop this, but I can't zoom. I can zoom on here. There's a little paw. Paw print right here. If you could see, it's too close. It's a little paw print right here. Someone put a little up on the top here.
Oh, I see it.
Of the pier. That's pretty funny. So and stuff, I didn't even notice that until after I took the picture, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, is that it's a paw print. Somebody slap that under there. And it's like people usually swim underneath here. The pier doesn't always look like this though, because the water was up that day. It was like high tide. If the water drops any lower, these things don't go all the way down in the ground. There's poles. So it actually looks good here, but in some pictures, if you put Hanalei Pier, other people have taken pictures similar to this, and you'll see that there's like poles. It just doesn't look as good. All right, story time's over. let's go ahead and take off. But yeah, I appreciate you coming by, David. Our David, God,
Jason.
I think I'm David. See, I'm getting tired. It is only 10 o'clock here. It's almost 1. Oh, okay. All right, let's get out of here. So, Jason, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for all of your help. And please, please, please go over there, subscribe to his channel. I'm telling you, if you subscribe to his channel, and we got a lot of subscribers over there, guess what? It's going to force him to want to put out videos. And we're like, I got all these subscribers now. I got to put videos out. So it's in your best interest. If you want to get more knowledge, more info from what Jason's putting out there, subscribe to his channel. And then when he starts seeing all these subscribers, I'm going to push him. Everybody in the WhatsApp group is going to be pushing him to make more video or to make videos. So it'll give him some pressure.
Yeah, man. Last little statement on it. Yeah, I'm going back to Medellin in October to lift the restrictions off this bank account I opened and to further look at some real estate properties. And I will document that whole process from start to finish of buying an apartment in Colombia for anyone who wants to do it in the future, because right now studios are going from 120,000 pesos, 120 millones, which is like $35,000, up until maybe a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom that's going to be like 230 millones, which might be like $150,000. I will buy an apartment. I will document the whole thing as much as I can. You know, talking with lawyers, like start to finish, A to Z for gringos.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
That's what we'll do.
That sounds good. All right, guys. We'll be back on Saturday, and then I'll be putting out. I have a couple of videos that I'll be putting out this week, and then I'll be going. Actually, I'm saying I'll be back on Saturday. I will be in Hawaii on Saturday, so I have to kind of figure out everything. The time is going to be even further back because it's even 3 hours behind
California,
West Coast time. Yeah. So I will do my best to put out a video. Like at this point right now, I'm going to put out something. So be prepared to see something. But I got to figure out how the internet connection is going to be and everything. But we'll make it happen. And then on Monday, I'll be putting out another stream on Monday. But the good part is I'll be in Hawaii. So you guys are going to see videos from Hawaii. You guys are going to see some, if it's even just a quick little live stream from Hawaii, you'll at least be able to see that. All right, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Please, on the way out, please hit the like button. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right. Thanks, David.